Hello, everyone! Welcome to the Forest of Memories. I'm Zaruk Prolly, your guardian, your high remembrancer, and your arbiter. Hope you're all doing well today. Well, this is it. This is the final not the final stream, but the Monday stream before I'm going to be gone for a week. Hey, Bo and Tara. So yeah, for those who don't know, I will not be here for a whole week after today. I'm going out of town, and I will be unable to stream because, one, I'll be out of town, and two, I'll also be at my brother's wedding. I'm his best man. So, yeah. But I will be back next Monday. Whether that's, in time for stream, I don't know. But I will be back that Monday, so don't worry. We'll be back. I'll be back Monday, and we'll be doing a stream that week. So, yeah, don't worry too much. Don't miss me too much, But for now, yeah, it's Balan Wonderworld time. And at Amina's insistence, we are going to be reading Chapter 2 of the book before we continue the game. So with that in mind, sit back, relax, make yourselves at home, and yeah, let's get right into it. And yes, my brother's wedding is going to be awesome. Though, here's the thing, the wedding's technically not till Saturday, and the rehearsal is Friday. I'm leaving Wednesday, technically. That's when our flight leaves. I'm going back home on Tuesday and then going out with family. But the reason I'm going down Wednesday is because Mom needs help setting stuff up. Turns out a lot of the family are not coming to the wedding, so guess who's got to help pick up the slack? Yeah, it's this guy. So, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get right into it, shall we? So, like I said, at Amina's insistence, we will be reading the next chapter of the book. That being Chapter 2, Transformation. She said that this was actually important, so I'm going to take her word for it. Also, hold on. Someone is pinging me. Need to let them know that I'm busy. Let's see, okay. So, Amina is on her way. Normally, Cataclysm would join us, but Cataclysm is streaming himself. So, yeah, maybe he'll hop in later. But, yes, Amina is on her way. Give me a second to make sure her PNG is actually working, because she'll be here. Ah, good old Scuff. Always forgetting something. Let's see, where is it? There we go. So, yeah. Let's get back to it. Sorry about that. There we go. So, y'all will recall the last time we read a chapter, we just got done with Chapter 1, which revealed that Lance is, surprise, surprise, the antagonist. Or, well, not the villain, but the antagonist. We've seen him in gameplay. He's the dude that looks like a weird Cthulhu creature. So, we will pick up after that. With a mournful look, Lance stepped closer to pensive Piero. Remembering will cause you so much pain. Are you sure you want to throw your happiness down the drain? Piero nodded. Lance touched a finger to the clown's forehead. On his skin appeared the same mark Lance bore on his chest. It is over, said, and done. From your memories you can no longer run. Piero closed his eyes. A few moments later they fluttered open, and he started muttering. I remember who I was, the life I led. I worked at a theme park as a clown, making people laugh. They had a parade there, and she was the star, the princess. Her hair was silver, her song sweet. The guests loved her, and so did the rest of the staff. She was always so kind to us and always so supportive. Also, just like before, even with the first chapter, I'm going to point out there's a lot of grammar mistakes in here. First of all, firstly, like, if the person's finished talking or you're at least making a break in the dialogue, then, yeah, there should be some quotation marks here. Second of all, why is the capitalized? If you're going to say the princess, then that P needs to be capitalized too. So, there's that. Let's see what else. Oh, right. Don't make a long block of text. Like, if someone's going to be talking, then break it up. So, like, this entire part should be something in with quotation marks, space, or sorry, hit enter, give a little bit more of a description, and then pick up from there. Again, same thing down here. Like, this is even worse. Like, again, you should close the quotation mark right there, and same thing here. If this is one sentence, close the quotation marks again. Like, you don't just have open quotation marks. That's not how that works. Like, I mean, if you must have this be one massive thing of just word vomit, or text, or yeah, it's vocal word vomit, then it would just be one open thing of quotation marks and then nothing until you need to close it. But they keep putting quotation marks here. Like, whatever. Semantics. I'm getting pissy about the grammar of a book that no one probably read. I fell in love. But she was the star, and I was just a common clown. Our worlds couldn't have been further apart. Sometimes her eyes would turn my way, but my face was always hidden behind the clown mask, and the only glimpses I got of her were through those tiny eye holes. Still, I dreamed often of telling her how I felt, but I never did. I started to hate myself for being such a coward. Then one day, after changing into my clown costume and heading into the park, I was astonished to discover a theater in the middle of the central square. None of the other employees seemed to notice it. They just walked right on by. Oh, I'm hearing clown, and my brain wants me to tell you I just got done watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Isn't that a game, too? Like, I've heard there's a weird game like that. But either way, I mean, not what we're looking at here. Still, though, I mean, but how weird and how bad... okay. Very recent game, 1988 movie. Okay. Still, that might liven this story up a bit, because this story reads like bad fan fiction or a third grader's project. Let's see. The doors opened, and I felt this strange pull, like something was drawing me inside. One moment I was in the park, and the next I was in Wonderworld. But now I understand why my stage is an amusement park, and what's missing from it. The march still plays, but the Princess's Parade, they aren't there. He squeezed his eyes shut again, the muscles in his jaw tightening. But maybe it's better this way, he murmured. She'll never feel the same way about me. At least here I won't have my heart shredded to confetti every time I see her. Trembling, Clock Tower Kid reached out and gripped Pierrot's hand. Forget about the princess. You and me can stay in Wonderland together, forever and ever. She let go of him and strode up to Lance. I want to remember too. Lance extended a finger. The moment he touched her, Clock Tower Kid started trembling like a leaf. His mark appeared on her brow. I remember. I was walking by the clock tower when I saw the kitten on the other side of the street. It liked me, and it always let me pet it. I wasn't thinking. I said, "Here, kitty, kitty," and it heard me and started crossing the road. But then there was an accident in front of the clock tower. A car crash. Oh. Okay, so, hold on. Let's see. I couldn't move. The car was on top of the... There was so much smoke. The cars were on their side. I didn't see the kitten anywhere. Okay, so you caused an accident. That... Yeah. That would traumatize a child. Causing a major car accident. Yeah, that would definitely... Yeah, that would traumatize a child. That got dark. Jesus. We went from one character wondering if he would ever get the interest of someone he loved, to a child causing a multi-car pileup that probably killed a few people. I was too scared to look. I didn't want to see, so I ran. I ran as far as I could away from the clock tower, and I never looked back. She opened her eyes, and fat tears streaked down her cheeks. That kitten probably died because of me, and I just ran. I was so scared. Yeah, that's called trauma. Like, any child would have responded the same way. Which makes this even more confusing, because, like, if... Again... See, here's the thing. This game, this world, is like, it's supposed to help people, okay? Fine, fair enough. But, like, what's more concerning is that, at least in Lance's case, is that he, like, takes pain away from people. And, like, that doesn't make the situations any better in the long run. I would be okay with, like, this whole, oh, this this person who I love may not notice me. Or, oh, I have a feel, like with the farmer and everything. Like, oh, I'm afraid that my farm will get destroyed. Okay, I get that. Just giving a little bit of balance and a little bit of calmness to people's life. But then we've got this poor 8-year-old child who may have accidentally, that's the key, accidentally killed a bunch of people. And an animal, but mostly the people. This got a lot darker, a lot faster than it should have been, and I don't like how we're just brushing this off. Like, yes, in a world without pain or struggle, there can be no growth or change. Allow me to quote a very famous Starfleet captain, "I don't want my pain taken away, I need my pain." That's kind of one of the reasons I've said before, as the guardian of memory, the guardian of the forest of memories, and kind of like the high remembrancer. I cannot take your memories away from you, because pain is something we all have to learn to deal with and face. If you could just snap your fingers and make it go away, okay, great. But you don't grow from that. You don't learn from that. You don't get better from that. Another quote from a very famous dragon: "What is better, to be born good or to overcome one's nature through great effort?" Okay, evil nature, but still, the point still stands. Better to face your problems and overcome them and be stronger rather than just making them go away. Which I think is kind of the point here. Lance has kind of made their pain go away, but only by hiding it, or at least making them forget it. That's not how someone develops. And again, especially with this child who probably needs to go see a doctor or a psychiatrist, because that's going to traumatize a young kid. Anyway, she sank into a crouch, hugging her knees tight to her chest. "But I forgot all about it when I came here. I got to meet Pensive and make so many other friends, even though I'm so awful. Wonderworld means everything to me. I can't let anything happen to it. And I never want to leave. I want to stay here with Pensive and everyone forever." When she lifted her gaze, Streetbeat saw dark light shining in her eyes. "I won't let anyone destroy our stages." Two glittering somethings shot out of her. Then, as if the lights had been the trigger, her body began to morph and to transform into a giant cat. And as she changed, so too did her stage begin to warp and bend. Ah!
Hello.
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 So
I got off work early.
Ah, nice. Everyone say hello to Amina.
Hello.
I mean, you might want to change your PNG real quick.
Oh, give me a sec.
So
there is no Gatomon on the screen. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there is.
What Gatomon?
That
no, there isn't.
That Gatomon.
Your eyes are playing tricks on you. See, I'm just a half giant. Anyone can see it.
So I understand now why you wanted us to read Chapter 2. This is how the bosses come to be.
Yes.
Right.
I said so.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah, well, regardless, we're now getting to it, and you missed it earlier when I was addressing how this got really dark really fucking fast. Because this went from Pensive simply being, oh, there's this person I love who will never acknowledge me, to I'm responsible for killing a bunch of people on accident. Like,
everyone here has issues.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, ugh. So Streetbeat and the others backed away from the metamorphosis. Lance smiled. "Come now, dear friends, do not distress. Once Balan and his minions are defeated, your memories I will again repress." Ah, yeah, just admitting, yeah, I'm the bad guy here. I don't want you to develop. Got it. Back to
somehow he was made to be a therapist and somehow came up with the worst coping mechanism idea ever.
Yeah, we actually, Delta actually said that earlier. In a world without pain or struggle, there can be no growth or change. And I think, again, our bodies already our bodies and mind already have this thing to where they will protect us from trauma or things like that. But if you don't move past your trauma, if you don't face your trauma, then nothing comes from that. Instead, you get stagnation, and that's not good for anyone, especially if you're going to keep suffering. Like, you want a good example, like a really good example of someone stagnating over something. You could make the argument Kratos is a good example. I mean, he gets quote-unquote better, but my point stands. You have to face these kind of things. Actually, you want a really good example of trauma inflicted on someone and them not being able to let it go? Joshua Graham. Joshua Graham only grows past his trauma and becomes a better person if you're there to talk him down. Because otherwise he gives into his anger and he becomes, well, what he was before. So
what page are you on so I can like catch up with you?
According to the document, this is page 126.
Got it.
Let's see. Back to normal you will return, your stages included. Then you can stay forever in Wonderland, safe and happy, your ordeal's concluded. He looked up at the giant cat that Clock Tower Kid had become. The negative powers are now yours to control. For attacking your stages, you'll make the enemy pay a most terrible toll. Negative powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is where if I was any of these people, I'd be like, okay, now I'm suspicious. Like, negative power? Let's see. Delta wants to know how much the PDF cost.
I got it for free off Reddit.
Yeah, there's your answer. I wonder how much
It's about $10 off the Square Enix website.
Yeah, if you buy, I'm guessing the PDF from there or the book.
But if you DM me, and I will not give you a book that you're supposed to pay for. I will not give you a book you are supposed to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Got that?
Yeah. We totally are not going to give you the book you're supposed to pay for.
We are not encouraging piracy or theft.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, hold on. I just noticed something. Give me a second. I got to, where is it here? There we go. Hey, Red Mage. And yeah, I'm turning that off because I've already got the money for my brother's wedding present, so.
Yay!
Getting it for free is still too high of a price. And here's the thing. This is necessary reading. Because this explains the plot and a ton of the stuff of the story. And
hi, Jim.
Yeah, like I said 2 weeks ago with this, like, if you have to explain your story in outside material, then you have failed when it comes to making a story for your game. Like, expanded material is okay, but the game itself needs to stand or fall on its own. It actually has to give me a standing story. If you want, extra stuff, okay, great. But it shouldn't be related to the plot. This is necessary.
But we almost didn't even get this.
Yeah. It's only necessary if you don't want to be constantly confused. Too late. A lot of people were already confused when they played the game. So, oops. And as we said last week, there probably will not be any more Balan games because not only was the game not very well received, but it
so hard.
Yeah, but its creator is also in prison. So, yeah, Yuji Naka's in prison. So, yeah, if I were part of Team Balan, I would be be getting my resume together and be trying to find something else.
Now, if someone at Square happens to be listening to a random small-time streamer and his girlfriend, and they happen to hear that if they were given the option to put someone else in charge of everything and then try again, I'd say it's at least worth trying.
There is, look.
Even if they won't do it, because they're not going to do that.
Listen, I will admit it. I know I rag on the game and rag on me streaming it, but I'll admit there's potential here. There really is. There is potential here. A lot of it. But the problem is that it's all untapped or ruined potential because the concept is good. The ideas are good. But the problem is it was gone about the entire wrong way. Like, the whole play the game with one button. The concept of, the whole idea of, constantly needing costumes to do anything. Like, I don't know. It's like there's so much potential here for something. And what really annoys me is that this is Square Enix we're talking about. Had anyone else been responsible for writing the story, then we might have gotten something here. But when Yuji Naka showed up to Square Enix and they told him point blank, we write stories for our games, this guy was like, oh, well, I've never done that before, and I don't think a game needs a story. Huh. And rather than asking for help, which would have been the smart thing to do,
he didn't, because he just physically can't seem to ask anyone for help because he's just really tiring to work with.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. What's the name of the dude who, gosh, what's the name of the, someone help me. What's the name of the guy who, crap, what's the name? What's the name of the dude who created, who's known for, like, creating, Kingdom Hearts? What's his name?
Nomura?
Yeah, Nomura. For God's sakes, you could, I mean, probably not, but, I mean, you could have asked Nomura for advice, because for God's sake...
That actually would have been a very good idea because, his stories may be his stories, but they can be whimsical and fun and beautiful and complex in a deep way.
I mean, and again, that doesn't mean have Nomura write the story, but just
consulting.
Yeah, go be like, hey, you've written stories for tons of games. Like, here's the concept I have. What kind of thing would you make with this? Or could you give me some advice? And I guarantee you he would give something interesting. But no, Yuji Naka just figured, no, I know what I'm doing. No, you don't. And which is why not only did your game bomb, but you're also in prison. So clearly you didn't know anything about making a game or story, and also didn't know how to run your life because you're in prison. So,
this isn't Sega anymore.
Actually, Delta, that might be the only thing that saves Balan. Is if Balan and or Lance make an appearance in Kingdom Hearts 4. That might be the only thing that saves Balan Wonderworld. And I doubt that...
Cross wish, and it's not gonna...
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. Look...
But it'd be nice.
Look, some people want the Balan team to succeed and do stuff. I want to see a new The World Ends With You game that doesn't suck. But that's... Yeah. But, a nice dream. But that's the problem with dreams. Some dreams exist to be broken. So...
We dream in the dark sometimes.
Yeah. I agree. Balan and Lance would fit in. But the problem, again, is that, remember, you would have... I mean, first of all, what, are you going to have Balan and Lance talk? Which they don't... Which, I mean, they kind of do. But, I mean, I guess you could do that. But...
I mean, thematically, 4, I hear, is supposed to cover how, like, Sora's kind of been keeping all his feelings very unhealthily locked inside just to, cope during all of this. And having the 2 resident therapists there, one bad and one pretty good, would be nice to say them, go through Sora with this. But that's fan fiction at this point.
Not to mention, I mean, again, as I've said, Lance is not a villain. Lance is an antagonist, and there is a difference. So, I mean, could you imagine a literal heart-to-heart conversation between Sora and Lance? That would actually be really good. Like, the whole, oh, Lance is supposed to give Sora therapy, but surprise, it's the opposite. Sora gives Lance therapy. I mean, look, if we could have Woody shit talk young Xehanort, then we can have Sora talk to Lance. So,
was still glorious.
Yeah, it was. So, the thing that used to be Clock Tower Kid nodded, then loped off into the stage out of sight. I'm sorry, hold on. Pretty sure that's...
I think it's flopped off.
Okay, that's wrong! Hold on. Time to check my...
Is it a misspelling?
Yeah, I'm gonna check. Loped. Actually, no, it's an actual word. Loped.
Lopped off? Just like,
No, lopped would be L-O-P-P-E-D. This is, L-O-P-E-D, so loped. To move...
Check how it's pronounced.
I am. Definition and meaning. Let's see, hold on.
Lope.
Yeah, I was right. Lope. You pronounce it like it's Lohp, so lope. Lope. To move or run with bounding steps or with a long, easy stride. Or to canter leisurely with a rather long, easy stride like a horse. So, okay. So it just...
I mean, she's big enough to move that fast,
Yeah.
that big, so...
Segment with no Goofy or Donald as Sora goes into Wonderworld alone since Goofy and Donald don't need therapy. I mean, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I don't think Disney would allow them to get therapy.
I mean, you're probably right.
So functionally, they don't need therapy.
Yep.
Even though at some point, one time, Goofy kind of almost died. But that's okay, he got better.
Yeah, so let's see. Piero stared after her, slack-jawed. His eyes roved her now unrecognizable stage. I never knew how much she cared about Wonderworld, how much she cherished my stage. I can't let her be the only one to take a stand. I'm going back, and I'll make whatever changes necessary to myself and my stage so I can fight. With that, the clown turned from them and rushed away. We need to face the enemy on all our stages. Sentinel and Watcher turned to each other and nodded. We're guardians. It's our duty to protect our stages, even if that means turning into some horrible creature for a little while. They strode over to Lance. Oh! So that's what she looks like. That's... okay.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's actually a really good design, I'm not going to lie. Though, I think I would have liked it better if it was just a full cat without the clock motif. That's just...
You see, each of the bosses, their designs are made of the parts of the costumes available in their stages.
Okay.
So they have all of the abilities of their costumes that you can get there.
Yeah. On my way to steal the design for a furry character. I mean, not gonna lie, ignoring the clock part, that's not a bad feline design. That if you wanted to go with like some kind of like, not demon, but you wanted to go with like inner shadow or inner machinate, you know, some kind of inner thought. Yeah, it's not bad. Very Alice in Wonderland-esque.
Very Knights, actually.
Knights, yeah.
Because Knights bosses look like this too, and I'm sure it was done on purpose to like, hey, look, guys, spiritual successor, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't succeed.
Zanyardo! Just stop time with your cat powers. Look, if Raiden can stop time in Metal Gear Rising, then yeah, I'd buy that. And yes, Raiden can stop time in Metal Gear Rising. You have to activate both your Ripper mode and Blade mode at the same time, and as long as you hold the buttons, you're basically in frozen time. Let's see. I shall fight too, said the Checkered King, lifting his chin. For my queen. Seagazer straightened her shoulders. I'm heading home too. Bye. Bye, Skygazer. I hope we get to hang out by your stage's ocean again sometime soon. I'll keep it safe for you, Seagazer, but you better protect your stage too. It has one of the prettiest skies I've ever seen. They shared a smile, then turned and left. One by one, they let Lance mark their foreheads, and one by one, they returned to their stages. Street Beat was no exception. Okay. Now I am gonna... Now?
That's addressed, you'll see.
Yeah, no, what I'm gonna critique is that we just blitzed through that. Like, I get it. We don't want to spoil the stuff we're gonna see in the game, but if you're gonna show that that's the boss, one of the bosses we're gonna be facing at one point, you've already spoiled us. You could have dropped a few more. So...
keep going. You'll see. Oh.
Wait, do we have pictures of all of them?
There's descriptions.
Oh. Yeah, we ain't even told what most of their issues are. Yeah, that's the other problem. We only know what Pensive's and Clock Tower Kids what their issues are. Piero's memories washed over him in excruciating detail as soon as he set foot back on his stage. The name of the theme park where he worked hit him like a punch. Christmas Rose Park. He was still reeling from when her title pierced him, Princess Mary. He did not know her real name. The park managers never revealed her true identity to anyone, even her fellow employees, to maintain the illusion of mystery that kept people paying the admission fees. First of all, that's fucking stupid! Because, like, look, I get it. But, and again, I'm sorry I'm nitpicking, but I am going to critique this. That's fucking stupid! Because what if there's an accident? What if she gets hurt? If you don't know her name, like, sure, the managers do, but, like, again, if there's an, you need to, like, you don't break the illusion by letting the employees know who each other's names are. They need to know that in case of an emergency. Or it's also, I think, you know, stuff like that. You know, emergencies, there could be repercussions down the line. They need to know that. Second of all, counterpoint to your argument that maintain the illusion of the mystery, Disney can do that. I guarantee you a lot of those employees know who each other are. Well, the thing that separates it there is that when those people are in character, they are in character because they're actors at the end of the day. So, yeah, this is dumb to basically say, oh, no one knows her true identity. Okay? That's dumb. Like, still, even if he had known her real name, Piero could never have told her how he really felt. That's on you, bud. Like, that's on you. But right now, all he could think about was Clock Tower Kid. Her transformation had bewildered him at first, but the shock had subsided into profound understanding for the hurt she carried. Yeah, because people probably died. Like, if anything, her trauma, because of her incident, her trauma is way above everyone else's. Like,
you'll see.
I know, but let me rant. Let me cook. Look, for example, we know about Seagazer. We dealt with her last week. Seagazer had a near-death experience. Okay, understandable. I get that. But again, that was an accident. Same thing with Clock Tower Kid. But Clock Tower Kid's thing almost killed people, and Clock Tower Kid is a child. Seagazer's an adult, which means she could handle the trauma better than most. But Clock Tower Kid? No, she's supposed to be like, what, 8 or 9? Yeah, no, this is extremely serious. Like, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that her boss is not more terrifying looking. Because again, look, if you want to make a game where people confront their issues or things that happen to them, even, you know, someone could make an argument that a near-death experience is kind of is a terrifying, traumatic thing. It is. But the thing is, or what I'm getting at here, is that she got people killed, most likely. That trauma is so scarring, especially on a child, that you can't joke about it anymore. You can't make light of it. Like, afraid your farm will get destroyed. Unable to confess to a girl. Near-death experience. Okay, those are, again, some of those are worse than others, and I'm going off what we've seen in the game so far. But this child unintentionally got people hurt or worse. So if anything, her boss, or like her form, should be utterly traumatizing to look at, or terrifying. Because and again, this is my opinion here, but the moment that I read that, this game's not funny anymore. You cannot make light of the fact that people got hurt or worse because of a child's accident, a child's mistake. Because, mistake or not, the trauma will stick with the child. This is not funny anymore, and it's not a ha-ha, you know, kind of funny, kind of, you know, look at these people struggling with their issues. No. That is genuine trauma. That's not funny. And this game is trying to... That's what kind of irritates me. They're trying to make light of that. And that's not funny. So... And Lich King's not spoiling anything. I already know about that. Like, that... Personally, that... I always thought that was hilarious. But he's the only one I knew before I started playing the game. So... Alright, rant over. Let it be known that Zaruk disapproves that this game seems to be kind of tamping down on actual trauma. See, poor thing. She suffered so much for such a little kid. I have to protect her stage. I have to draw upon the negative power inside me. A dark luminescence shimmered in Pensive Piero's eyes. 2 lights shot out of his body, and then he and his stage began to change. Okay, maybe it's just because I've grown up with a lot of fantasy and a lot of, like, adventures and a lot of, fantastical, fictional stuff. But anytime you draw upon negative power, that's never a good idea. So, again, if this were me there, I'd be like, no, fuck you. I'm not doing that. But then again, the theater would never appear for me because I actually want to face my issues and overcome them. So, see, yeah.
You'll see.
Yeah. Back on his own stage now, Streetbeat wondered, what should I do? Seeing Clock Tower Kid transform into a monster right in front of his eyes had really shaken him up. Will I end up like that too? The thought scared him, but he shook his head to clear it. I have to do it. There's no other way. After all, little Clock Tower Kid was willing to change so drastically to protect Principiero's stage. He couldn't just sit this fight out. Okay, change. His decision made, the town around him started to shake, softly at first. The sun slipped down past the horizon. Darkness swallowed his stage. All the traffic lights switched from green or yellow to red, and everything shook harder and harder. The apartments and shops shifted, slow as molasses, and the straight roads grew warped and twisted. The town wasn't a town anymore, but a giant maze. Fighter and the Grinning Man would never be able to navigate through it. I wonder what I look like now. He peeked at his hands. Huh? They were still human. He turned to face what used to be a department store, staring at his reflection in the window. It was still him. Why didn't I transform? On his forehead was the same symbol Lance had marked Clock Tower Kid with, but otherwise he looked the same as he always did. And no matter how hard he tried, he could never remember anything about his life before Wonderworld. Well, how am I supposed to protect everyone like this? If Clock Tower Kid could transform, why can't I? Is it because I'm scared? Am I really that useless? At the thought, a dark light glinted in his eyes. Leo! Streetbeat turned around and saw the girl from his visions. The girl he had met on Lady of the Midnight Sun stage. Fighter. Behind her stood the Grinning Man, top hat and all. Streetbeat could see him clearly now. He had the same sort of aura as Lance, or the one Lance had before he had transformed, though the design of his flashy outfit was completely different. The brim of his top hat was pulled so low the Streetbeat could see nothing of the man's face except his mouth, stretched wide in its usual grin. That's fucking terrifying! Because
he was described as being a little scary. Yeah,
we've seen Balan like that without his face visible and just his smiling face. That is terrifying. Fighter rushed over, but Streetbeat recoiled from her. Who are you? It's me! It's Emma! Try to remember, we met in the theater in the lobby. I was trying to decide if I should go in or not. His words jarred free the memories of his past. Leo. That's right, that's my real name. I'm Leo. He was always dancing in the streets by himself. Everyone in town said he was the best there was. All the different dance crews jockeyed to get him to join. But Streetbeat, Leo, never did. He didn't need anyone else to dance with. He didn't need friends. And as it was with dancing, so it was with school. He was always alone, and he liked it that way. He didn't care about anyone or anything except getting better at dancing. Even when the El Trondo meteor shower had streaked the night sky with shooting stars, he hadn't cared enough to look up. He had just kept on walking with his eyes on the ground. The next day, the meteor shower was all his family could talk about. He ignored their excited conversation and slipped out of the house to dance. He'd been on his way to his usual practice spot when he noticed a mysterious new alley and turned down it out of sheer curiosity. That was when he saw a beautiful building that he could have sworn had never been there before. On its facade glowed a neon sign that read, The Balan Theater. Also, I'd like to point out that in the cutscene, he did that at night. So that means he literally left his house at night and wandered off, and apparently nobody in his family noticed that he left.
In Japan, they have like a weird thing with kids being able to go out by themselves. Not in the States.
Yeah, not here. The time is 8 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Not in your house, apparently. Leo knew the town like the back of his hand. All its ins and outs. All its secrets. Or so he had thought. It was a shock to discover something new. He opened the door to check it out, and inside he met Emma. I remember now. You were standing there still as a statue. The two of us explored the theater together, and after that, oh, little one, just look at the state of you, said the man in the top hat, shoulders sagging. You've forgotten yourself and what you must do. What are you talking about? The man in the top hat shook his head sadly. Passing through my theater brought you to this place. It's a gateway, you see, twixt time and space. And who are you? I've lost track of how many millions of times I've introduced myself to the theater's guest. To speak the same words to the same person is something I thoroughly detest.
His name's Balan.
Okay, asshole. He's just like, yeah, I've done this millions of times. I'm not going to repeat it again. Damn.
And then Emma's just like, he's Balan.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, his name's Balan, explained Emma, as the man heaved a dramatic sigh. Okay, you know what?
He's a thespian.
Yeah, me, okay. I'll give Balan a little bit more credit. The fact that he's snarky enough to be like, I'm not giving you my name again. I've done this millions of times. Screw this. Maestro of all Wonderland. Street Beat Leo furrowed his brow. I thought Lance was in charge. Most definitely not. He's only tricked everyone into thinking he calls the shots. Balan threw his hands into the air. You're the one to talk about tricking people. I remember now. You said we couldn't leave the theater unless we passed some sort of test. You locked us in. I could see why you think I'm the one you should vilify, said Balan, looking genuinely upset. But you have it all backwards, so please let me clarify. My theater exists for only one end, to protect people's hearts, as long as they've hearts to defend. How do you protect hearts? With great effort and care, and an extra dash of flair. Balan struck a dramatic pose like a leading actor in the spotlight. Cue him sliding in on his feet, getting ready to dance to old-timey rock and roll. Dun 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 dun.
He would do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a meme lord.
Yeah, Balan's a theatrical asshat and loves being eccentric. Mundanity such as repetition is his worst nightmare. Yeah, like most thespians, yeah. Everyone thinks hearts are individual islands, which is to be expected. The thing about islands, though deeper down, they're all connected. No. That is not how geology works, but go on. It's what we call Wonderland, this most happy land. What some scholars call the collective consciousness. But who knows if any truly understand. Regardless, you cannot get here by car or by train, only through my theater, simple and plain. Alright, we're going deep with collective consciousness. Alright. See, again.
You'll never see it coming.
Yeah, again, there's potential here. If you had someone from Square Enix lending their effort to writing this, the idea of collective consciousness of all these people, or multiple people, all that stuff, that would be interesting. The idea that Balan basically goes around the collective consciousness of the world, helping people overcome their traumas, overcome their difficulties, and protecting them by helping them overcome their struggles, while Lance is also doing that, but he wants to suppress people's thoughts. I mean, we kind of had that similar in Persona 5. We had people who wanted to see, Persona in general. We had people who want to see the truth, and people who would rather live a lie. So,
I want Balan to be my Persona.
New Persona unlocked, Balan. Actually, I mean, can you imagine trying to rip your mask off and the whole time Balan's like, ugh. Because I'm pretty sure he's never seen blood before.
Please stop this. I beg of you, don't stop hurting yourself.
Yeah. Ugh. Like, great. Now you got me imagine Balan and Lance together and Balan's like, ugh. Brother, ugh. What is that? And Lance is like, dude, come on now. But yeah, it's, that would, ripping your mask off and your Phantom Thief companion Balan just screams in terror. That would be kind of funny. Meanwhile, Lance is just over here like, aight, good job.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. That looked like it hurt.
Congratulations. The bare minimum.
Yeah, that looked like it hurt. Now it's gonna get worse. Actually, that would actually be a cool twin persona, because there are personas where like people have like it's one persona, but it's two figures, kind of like how
It's so funny you say that.
I mean, like, I know, like, example, we've got Akechi, who technically has two personas. It's Loki, but it also has the form of Robin Hood. So why not have Balan and Lance be your persona? Like I don't know. Whenever you, like, for example, whenever you show up to actually, use an attack that actually hurts you, it's Lance who does it. Because, again, Lance is subconsciously, not on purpose, but in the long run, he's doing more pain than good. So Lance comes out and snaps his fingers and makes someone go the fuck away with an attack.
I love how when it comes to like meme characters, their names are always name of game.
Yeah.
Like Sans Undertale.
Yep. Why did the Balan Theater appear to me? A heart is made of two pieces combined, a positive piece and a negative, balanced and twined. My theater appears when that balance goes haywire, to help people lost within straits most dire. Inside they go, and inside they remain, until they pass a test to restore their heart's balance and return whence they came. My heart hasn't gone haywire. Oh, little one, I say this with great affection. You sorely lack in introspection. Balan gave Leo an exasperated stare. You think you can live life all alone? Without any friends to call your own? There should be a question mark there. So what? So deep down inside you fester loneliness like a sore. But just like the others, you craved something more. You thought you could live on your stages without a care, but all that pain inside you brought negative drops to bear. And from those drops Lance's Nagati drew power, grew stronger and stronger with each passing hour. Okay, well, who is Lance? Balan, like, bitch boy, you lonely. Get some friends.
Friends. Touch grass.
Now that I think about it, if I actually met Balan and Lance, I feel like Lance would be the one that would probably be the one I'd interact with the most. Meanwhile, Balan's over here just mocking me while I'm mocking me, and actually might actually want to throw hands the more I'm reading.
That's good. Get angry. Let it out.
Yeah. I'm not going to fight you, Guardian. But I will not stand by and watch as you continue to hurt people with their memories, and you just suppress it. This has to end. Meanwhile, with Balan, run them hands. Run them hands, you tiny-looking imp. Just... How tall is Balan again?
Like, he's tall. He's like double the height of an adult, so like around 10. He's like around my height.
Yeah, around your height. Oh god, Zaruk yelling at Balan. How fucking elaborate do we have to make this fight? Get down here! Just while he's
just flying in the sky.
Yeah.
You can fly too, Zaruk.
Or perhaps come up here and face me. Or do you find yourself more attached to the ground with your tiny form? Just, God. Alright, I've got so many ideas now. 10 feet tall with more energy blast than some DBZ characters. Okay, who is Lance? The product of all the chaos and war since civilization's birth. 3,000 years, give or take, for what dates are worth. 3,000 years? Okay, wait. First of all, alright, you pissed off the history major. First of all, civilization is not 3,000 years old. Civilization is far older than that. So
I think that what he means is that around 3,000 years ago, people started having the ideas about certain things, and then they just burst Lance. Like how in Greek mythology, chaos was chaos for like forever until chaos just started having other stuff just pop into existence.
Mm-hmm. The product of all chaos and war. Okay, I'm pretty sure people have struggled with, with their own issues and struggles aside from chaos and war. But if that's the case, you're basically...
He's also rhyming.
Yeah, you're...
Balan can fly. Counterspell. Phalanx sea whiz.
But that also means that we're dealing with a primordial being. Something beyond understanding. If he's born from chaos, again, I know he's rhyming, but still, from chaos, like, good God. Yep. All those negative emotions affect Wonderworld too, and gave rise to Lance, the one who's deceived you. He said he cared about us. Balan's shoulders lifted and fell. The same way a farmer cares for his egg-laying hens. It's the drops he loves, but that doesn't make you friends. What's so special about the drops? The tears people in the real world cry when they're happy or sad, or don't even know why. Nagati and Tims need them to survive, and use their power to help Wonderworld thrive. Leo couldn't make sense of what Balan was saying. He trailed off. His memories were coming back in a steady drip. I remember. After I met you in the theater, you told me I had to take a test. I had to defeat Lance and make Wonderworld go back to normal, to what it was before all the Nagati corrupted it. Balan let out a sigh of relief. I was starting to think your memories might stay gone for good, given half a chance. Tell me, do you remember you and fighter Emma battling and losing to Lance? Leo's jaw dropped. We did what? I tried to get you to be patient, to prepare you for the difficult brawl ahead. But no, you two ran off and fought him anyway. You're lucky you didn't end up dead. Oh, thanks, asshole! Not, untold collective consciousness power somehow can't hold back two children from going to fight something way out of their league. Congrats. And yeah, Delta's right. He's also in a place that exists outside time, so he flat out could be wrong about when Lance existed. Yeah, fair. He did say dates mean nothing to him, so... Leo could only shake his head. But if I lost my memories after fighting Lance, then why didn't Emma? Emma smiled. I grew up pretty spoiled back in the real world. People around me bent over backwards to get me what I wanted, but I knew it was only because my parents were mega rich. No one actually cared about me. I stopped trusting people and stopped letting them get close. That's why the Balan Theater appeared to me. That first time we met in the lobby, you didn't know the first thing about me, but you saw I was scared, and you said you'd have my back if anything happened. I started to trust you. That's why Lance's power held no sway over me. I remember that. You were so terrified. I was terrified too, but I didn't want to let on. Which is why you lost to Lance, despite trying your best. Balan bent down to peer into Leo's face. Does that put all your questions to rest? I still have one. Why didn't I transform like everyone else? Balan grinned. Remember the walls you built round your heart? Meeting everyone here slowly tore them apart. You may have maintained you were fine on your own, but a desire to protect new friends you've always shown. Starting with that promise you made to fighter Emma when she was afraid. I promised? In his mind, Leo saw Clock Tower Kid and all the other people he had met. It's that very positive promise that saved you when Lance's negative power might have enslaved you. It wasn't until he heard it put into words that Leo began to understand why the others had been seeing something else in their visions beside Fighter and Balan, and he hadn't. The visions had shown them their deepest, darkest fears. Balan nodded as if he knew what Leo was thinking. You see, you didn't really want to be friendless or alone, and the lack of something cannot be shown.
Can you guys guess what his stage is lacking now?
Emma said, Leo, you and me, we're the ones who have to destroy everyone's stages. Wait, spluttered Leo. You mean we have to fight them? What? No! She gave a vehement shake of her head. We have to save them. We have to break them free of Lance's power, and then we have to take him down. All of us, together. Leo hesitated. He still wasn't sure it was the right thing to do. Leo! She spoke fiercely. You're cool letting Clock Tower Kid stay like that? Forever? That made up his mind. No. Let's save everyone, and then kick Lance's ass. Sorry, I know it's his butt, but come on. He's supposed to be a tough kid. The dark light in his eyes spluttered out, and suddenly a Nagati lurking nearby turned and launched itself at Street Beat. But Emma kicked it off. What did it attack me for? It could sense you turning against Lance. The drops you see all around Wonderworld are made from people's memories and emotions. The Tims, those furry those fuzzy furball things you were all so worried about, they tend toward the positive ones. But the Nagati go for the negative. The Nagati aren't going to be friendly to you anymore, so you better watch out for them when you go to everyone's stages. Wait, you're not coming with me? I can't. I have something else to take care of. What else is there besides saving everyone? She gave him an enigmatic smile. You'll see. At that, she spun on her heel and vanished. That leaves just me and you, said Balan with a grin. Let's be off, little one. We've much to do. Leo hesitated. He only knew how to get to Clock Tower Kid's stage from his own, but he wasn't sure he was ready to fight her, even if it meant saving her. For a few moments, he stood debating himself, and drew his shoulders back in resolve and started walking. He led them across the street, down the alley, and over the low wall. Huh? He'd followed the exact same path Clock Tower Kid had shown him, but they were still in his stage. The twists and turns of the labyrinth stretched out in every direction. Balan snorted. It seems all their stages are locked. The way Clock Tower Kid showed you is blocked, and there's no way to reach them. Where there's a will, little one, there's always a way. And I'm Wonderworld's maestro. What I command, it will obey. He lifted his forefinger. So, to whose stage first shall we go? Leo thought for a moment before answering. Scarecrows? The farmer was so gentle. Leo figured that they might be able to explain everything and get him on their side without ever coming to blows. Plus, his stage was a gentle place too, which explains why it's the first level in the game, because it's a tutorial world. Balan tilted his head. He is indeed a very kind man. Let's hope all goes according to plan, he said as if he could read Leo's mind. Balan put a hand on Leo's shoulder and skimmed a finger along the brim of his top hat. A bright light enveloped them, and Leo squeezed his eyes shut tight against it. All right,
that was transformation.
Yeah,
Up next is battle, and battle is effectively the game, but if you want to go through each section of battle after you beat a level, I would say that that would be something you could do.
Yeah.
But,
and at this point,
it just depends on what you want to do.
Well, at this point, we've beaten the first 2 levels, so we can read the first 2 parts. So why not? Let's see. Yeah, when Leo opened his eyes again, he couldn't help but gasp at the strange scenery surrounding him. Where are we? Where you told me to go. Only a few minutes prior, no?
Then pay with your blood!
Then pay with your blood! This is Scarecrow's stage? Are you sure? Where there ought to have been an expanse of cornfields were instead an endless towering stone wall. Sure as sure can get. He's transformed it for battle, if you want my bet. Leo looked around as Balan spoke. Here and there he caught vestiges of the old stage he remembered. He was relieved to see that the farmhouse porch, at least, was unchanged. What's with the wall? Balan put his hands on his hips. A physical manifestation of his real-world harm from before he came here to this farm. You think he's trying to protect the stage from the dancing trees he saw in his vision? A good guess, little one. You're quite the sleuth. But you'll have to free Scarecrow from the negativity to get the truth. Scarecrow, what are you trying to protect your farm and yourself from? So how do I free him then? Remember the lights that flew out of Clock Tower Kid when she changed? Those were positive fragments of his heart, the last 2 that remained. You must find everyone's fragments, somehow, then fire them into the marked lance left on their brow. As Balan spoke, Leo caught sight of the fuzzy furball creatures bouncing around. Before, they were so translucent he could barely see them, but now they were solid and defined. What are those things doing here? Those creatures are Tims, but of this you were already aware. They've grown weak due to the negative corruption everywhere. You couldn't see them while Lance held you in his sway, but they never left your side for a single day. And the poor things are starved for drops to eat. You should give them some, as a treat. And what'll happen if I do that? Balan only gave him an impish grin. Far be it from me to ruin the surprise. Raise one, and see with your own 2 eyes. This sounds like grinding. Oh, that much is sure.
The path is a little obscure. But yeah, that's what those heart things are.
Yeah. I think that's Scarecrow. Leo ran over to the farmer as fast as his feet would go, but Scarecrow vanished before he could reach him. Balan groaned. He's been taken over by the negativity's blight. Take care, little one, when the time comes to fight. What are you talking about? That wasn't him, I'm afraid. Just an illusion the positivity banished from his heart has made. Though in its weakened state, the light still guides. It can show you where the real Scarecrow hides.
And that's why there's weird illusions of them just appearing everywhere.
Then we have to follow it. There's no point going when we haven't cleared the first roadblock. Scarecrow has shut himself up tight, and there is only one key that opens the lock. Balan patted Leo's shoulder. The positive fragments of his heart we need, if from Lance's power he is to be freed. Leo nodded, then set off toward the stone wall that stood where the farmland once sprawled. On the way, they passed a couple of drops, but they were all floating in the air just out of the little Tim's reach. Leo grabbed them and gave them to the furballs when he could. Noticed they seemed to perk up and grow a little bigger after eating them. They had been a little spooky when he hadn't been able to see them as anything more than shadows, but now that he got a better look at them, they were kind of cute. Yes, my children! Like, unfortunately...
There is an official plush, but that came with a pre-order, and on eBay they go for several $100s.
Of course they do. Why not? Some of the Tims he fed seemed to take a liking to him and followed him as he walked. They kept on like this for a while, Leo plucking drops from the air and feeding the Tims bouncing in his wake. Look and you'll see there are drops all around. Indeed, even inside that stone one can be found. In here? Leo touched the one Balan was pointing to. I'd need a hammer or something to break it open. Balan gave an exasperated shake of his head. You forget we're in Wonderworld, where impossible is only a matter of your imagination's range. Your stage, little one, isn't the only thing you have the power to change. Okay, first, don't give me that kind of power. You don't want to know what I would come up with. Like,
actually, I do want to know what you could. Actually, I do know what you would come up with.
I mean,
and it'd be fun.
I mean, look, if you want me to break a rock, I'm probably going to make a suit. I'm going to make like some power armor or something. Like, look, giving me the ability to be or make whatever I want in a kind of reality, I'm literally going to bring to life all of the most overpowered shit in fiction.
It would be wolf-like.
Well, yeah. But also the fact that, case in point, imagine taking on Lance, showing up strapped to the nines like a space marine. I don't care how powerful you are, this chainsword still hurts. But, like, again, I've always thought that was really cool. I like the kind of fantasy things where you can bend your dreams or bend reality to, you know, to your way of thinking. And that goes both ways, because a lot of people like to think only young people or kids should have that power. No, an adult can do that. The scary thing, though, is that an adult is going to have greater challenges to fight. So, here's what one of my friends once said. With a kid, we know a kid is probably going to emulate things they've seen on TV or maybe emulate stuff they're familiar with. Like if a kid grew up watching Dragon Ball, they're going to be throwing Kamehameha waves everywhere. Okay, that's fine. Because most of the things that a kid would fight in their own, like, you know, in their imagination or something like that would not be too bad. But an adult has to clash with things that are way scarier. But in that and other things too, like death and other such things. But that's why an adult, as long as the adult still has an imagination, because fun fact, some people can kill your imagination. That's why you need to keep it. Sad. Yeah, that's why you need to keep it alive. But an adult using the power of their imagination is terrifying because they've seen or played or done stuff with way more. So, yeah. Correction, before any of that, you would snap Balan's spine like a twig. No. He, as bit of an ass as he is, he's still the good guy. So
I think he would just, like, wiggle worm his way out of any grasp.
Yeah. He would probably also mock me for picking a Space Marine armor anyway. Probably say, he goes, oh yes, we have to be overpowered and unoriginal, do we? Like, again, that's... But my point stands. I really do wish there was more, like, in fantasy about adults or older characters being able to pull from the, you know, from their memories, their dreams, or their fantasies. It helps. Aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go apeshit?
Lance chanting in the sides, go ape shit.
Yeah.
Go ape shit.
Oh, you're actually encouraging me to hurt you. Okay. Like, oh, I've made a mistake here, haven't I? Yes, you have, my friend. I would start running. See, images of Clock Tower Kid morphing into a giant monster flash through Leo's mind. You mistake my intent. That isn't at all what I meant, said Balan, as if he could tell what Leo was thinking from the look on his face. Oh god, he reads minds. Great.
I mean, it is his Wonderworld, and he is the magical therapist.
Mm-hmm. So, nothing you have can convince me to help you. Would you like me to tell everyone your internet browsing history, child? Okay, I'm willing to help. It isn't your negativity you draw power from now, but positivity. And I'll tell you how. Take cleaving open the stone for a start. Envision yourself strong enough to do it in your heart. Envision strength, said Leo, not quite following. Think of positivity like a costume you don whenever you need some additional brawn. A positive costume. This won't do. Balan tapped a finger to his lips. It still isn't coming to you? Well then, let me call forth Scarecrow's vision. Perhaps his staged power will help your cognition. Balan reached for Leo, and the moment he touched him, Leo was enveloped in light. He squeezed his eyes shut against the overpowering luminescence. Once it finally faded, he took a timid peek at his hands. They were giant, and his nails had sprouted into long, sharp claws. What did you do to me? Balan winked. A mirror appeared in front of him, and in it he saw he'd been transformed into a wolf. Except they're costumes in the game. Like, okay, whatever. Yeah, so in the book, he just turn into the creature. But no, in the game, it's a costume. Whatever.
With a weird face.
Yeah, with a weird face. Whatever. He'd been transformed into a wolf. He was still roughly the same height, but his whole body was covered in fur, and his upper half rippled with powerful new muscle. That is the shape of strength in Scarecrow's eyes. See if its name you can surmise. Leo stared and stared at his reflection in the mirror. Tornado Wolf. Leo took in a sharp breath. It was more than just the name that came to him. He knew all the things he was capable of in this form, too. He stood in front of the stone, drew an arm back, and swiped down as hard as he could. The stone shattered like delicate glass under the blow, drops spilling out from the rubble. Whoa.
That rhymed.
Again, very cool art style, very cool art designs. And this smarmy bastard back here.
You can do it.
I'm not tired of being nice. Yes, I want to go apeshit. These feelings can coexist. Balan grinned. And there are more costumes to be found. Ones that let you breathe fire or fly high above the ground. He cut himself off, grabbing Leo's shoulder and jerking his chin toward a Nagati. But the creature must have already spotted them because it was creeping their way. What should we do? There's only one thing to do. Get rid of it before it gets rid of you. You mean I have to kill it? Nagati and Tims, for that matter, don't die. They just disappear when their power runs dry. And eventually, they do reappear, though how long that takes is unclear. Yeah, with the game's bad loading systems and, how long it takes for everything to spawn in, I would imagine it'd be kind of unclear.
It also explains why everything respawns once you, restart the stage, because everything's been recharged.
Yep. Leo breathed a sigh of relief to hear that. Even if the Nagati were his enemies now, he'd gotten used to seeing little creatures around Wonderworld. He didn't think he could bring himself to kill one, even in self-defense. And then there's me, who purposefully yeeted a Tim off that island to see what would happen, only for the Tim to respawn. So
don't worry, it's fine.
So how do I make it disappear? Me, oh my, asking questions you certainly do adore, especially all the ones I've answered before. Balan gave an exasperated snort. Nagati come from the negative piece of a person's heart, born from their fears and doubt. The only way to get rid of a thing like that is to simply stamp it out. All right, smartass. I love how he's like, you just like asking questions, don't you?
Questions all the time.
Let's see. As Leo puzzled over that, the Nagati appeared right in front of him. Without thinking, he leapt into the air, stamping down hard on the creature. It disappeared. Yes, just like that. Now the time for my advice is done. You'll have to figure out the rest as you go, little one. Wait, you're not going to help me? This is your test, not mine, I'm afraid. To leave Wonderworld, you must earn the passing grade. Good luck, little one. I'll be cheering you on to the end. We'll meet again after you've rescued your friend. As soon as he finished speaking, Balan vanished. Leo felt helplessness creep into his heart now that he was on his own, but there was nowhere to go but onward. So onward he went. Towering walls crisscrossed the stage in winding, befuddling paths. Leo walked through them, smashing any stones that barred his way. He picked up the drops that spilled from the rubble and gave them to the Tims that followed him like Balan had suggested. With each drop, the Tims grew a little bigger, though Leo didn't notice any other changes taking place. They just stared and stared at him. He supposed that meant they were happy. He followed the illusion scarecrow for a long time. It led him up a tall rise, and at the top of the rise there was a tree, big and beautiful and bright. Leo saw a light that looked just like the ones that had flown out of Clock Tower Kid's body, wrapped in a protective nest of branches. It's a heart tree. Leo realized he could figure the name of anything in Wonderworld now, as long as he stared at it long enough. He reached for the glowing tree, but something zapped his hand back. Pain tingled from the tips of his fingers down to his elbow. It's protected by negative power. He looked closer and saw that there was some sort of negative force field surrounding the branches. Drawing upon the strength of the Tornado Wolf costume, he wound a fist back and sent it flying into the branches with all of his might. But the blow just bounced off without doing any damage. To the tree, that is. Leo clutched his arm, moaning in agony. It hurt way worse than before. Yes, because if touching it hurt, surely punching it would be better.
He is a teenage boy.
The Tims behind him looked from Leo to the heart tree, then seemed to understand what it was he was trying to do. A couple of them began throwing themselves at the tree. The negative force field disappeared. Their positive power must have neutralized it. But the Tims that had struck the tree were as small as they had been before he gave them the drops, maybe even smaller. They must have used up the drops' power in their attack. Yay, more artwork.
The babies.
Yeah. Look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm searching for. Are you hurt? The Tims only gazed at Leo with unreadable eyes. Maybe this is their way of thanking me for the drops. He felt a pang of guilt looking at the now tiny Tims. Thanks. He was getting to like the Tims more and more by the minute. There were little animals and creatures on all the stages he had been in Wonderworld, but up until now he hadn't really cared about them one way or another. Mumbling another quiet thank you under his breath, Leo took hold of the fragment. As soon as his fingers closed around it, he knew what Scarecrow had abandoned when he rid himself of this fragment. He wanted to protect his family. It was sad to think Scarecrow had discarded such an important part of his heart. The illusion Scarecrow was pointing again, somewhere off in the distance. That's right. Clock Tower Kid had 2 fragments. One down, one to go. Leo's search wasn't done yet. He went where the illusion led him. I still don't know why Scarecrow saw dancing trees in his vision. If I had to guess, they probably had something to do with the reason Scarecrow went into the Balan Theater in the first place. That and his desire to protect his family. Leo then came to a castle wall. Peering at it, he saw it was missing something. Arrow slits. Castle ramparts always had those little holes in them so the soldiers inside could shoot arrows or guns at the invading enemy. But Leo couldn't see a single opening on the wall. If those dancing trees were going to attack my stage, I'd want to be able to shoot flaming arrows or something at them. What's he trying to protect his farm from if not the trees? What happened to him in the real world? You know, the funny thing is, like, we know now that he's building a wall to protect his land from a tornado. Hey, hate to break it to you, big stone walls don't stop a tornado at all.
Yeah.
No. In fact, that makes it worse because.
In fact, okay, so can I cook a little bit?
Go.
Okay, so Europeans like to make fun of Americans for having houses made out of made out of plywood structures and the walls we have. But that's because over here on this continent we have extreme weather. European architecture would not last in an American storm.
Nope.
It would
wouldn't.
be torn to pieces and thrown everywhere and would kill everyone in the area.
Yep.
Our houses may be a little frail, but they are slightly bendable because
Mm-hmm.
they have to be able to withstand other things. And if they're torn apart, they cause less damage when they are.
Yep. And also, I'm not going to take any criticism from a bunch of Europeans who don't even have air conditioning in their houses. So,
They get very mad whenever you mention that, and I'm not sorry.
yeah, I'm not sorry about it either. Like, hate to break, like, it's, they're always like, what, does every American building have an air conditioning in it? Yes. And I bet you motherfuckers are wishing you had one now, too. Because from what I read, it's like really high temperatures over there right now. So,
It's not good, but also, stop your complaining.
yeah, seriously.
Don't make fun of us for how we build our houses. At least we got stuff done, you know, to handle our continent full of extreme storms.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of weird stuff in Europe, or a lot of weird ideas, like how you have to ask for ice in your drink. They don't just give it to you. Such a weird thing. Let's see. I'll worry about that later. Leo pressed onward. At last, he found the second heart tree, and the Tims seemed to know what he wanted to do. They bounced ahead of him before he could stop them and rammed right into the tree. The negative force surrounding it vanished, but the Tims that had rammed it grew smaller and weaker. I wish there was another way. Leo rushed to gather nearby drops, feeding them to his Tims. The fuzzballs got a little bigger after eating them. He let out a sigh of relief, then reached for the fragment. He didn't let any hardship keep him down. But then something terrible must have happened that really got the Scarecrow. Leo shuddered to think what sort of monster Scarecrow's pain might have transformed him into. After all, when Clock Tower Kid discarded her fragments, she turned into a giant cat beast. Leo had hoped he might be able to talk things out with Scarecrow, but that was looking less likely now that he understood just how much of himself Scarecrow had thrown away by getting rid of these fragments. Balan was right. This was not going to be easy. Actually, the bosses are pathetically easy, but 100%ing the game is not. The illusion Scarecrow led Leo onward into the stage until they came to a door. Beyond it, Leo knew he would find the real Scarecrow. He gripped the doorknob, but it wouldn't budge. Ah, right. He took out the two fragments of Scarecrow's hearts and touched them to the door. Slowly, it opened, and Leo went inside. In the darkness, he saw a strange light flickering. What a horrible place to be shut up all alone. I wonder if anyone did a tier list of every costume in Balan Wonderworld. I'm sure there is one. No?
There isn't. No, there isn't. But so that just means there's an opening.
No.
Yes.
No.
Maybe later.
Let's see. This must be the deepest part of Scarecrow's heart, but nowhere could Leo see even a hint of that beautiful farm of his. Suddenly the wind started to howl, and a cyclone raged forward out of the darkness. It disappeared just as it reached him, revealing a gigantic something he could only describe as a monster. It looked just like his tornado wolf costume. Leo should not have been surprised. After all, he had borrowed his shape from Scarecrow's imagination. But unlike Leo's costume, this monster emanated strong negative power. In a few seconds, they glared at each other. Leo came to know his enemy's name. Bartholomew. Really?
Yes, he named himself Bartholomew.
Oh my god.
The farmer is a furry! That's his Sona!
Bartholomew.
That's not a stupid name, that's a cute name.
But we don't even see the boss's name in game.
We don't. Yeah. It's very dumb.
Okay, so personal thing here. I remember, like, the boss fight against Bartholomew is...
You can call him Scarecrow if you want.
The point is, the boss fight in Scarecrow's stage is pathetically easy, as all the bosses are. But the thing that bothers me is that what they should have done is, rather than having the boss basically be just a negative or evil version of a costume, you should have gone above and beyond with it. Like, example... Okay, so...
Remember how I told you before about how Clock Tower's costume is a mix of all the costumes on her stage?
I know. But
Same applies here.
Yeah, but let me cook. The reason I'm bringing it up is because what you... and again, you can still do that, but they should have gone a bit more extreme with the boss design. Like, rather than it just being, oh, it's just a giant tornado wolf and it launches storms and lightning. No, have it like, I don't know, fire storms and lightning out of its arms or something. Like, I don't know. Again, like, I'm trying to think, what is, guy's a farmer. You could have attached, like, these weird combine harvesting looking things to its arms that fire tornadoes out of them. I don't know. But, like,
I think that he'd do that if he had filled himself with positive emotions.
Maybe. Bartholomew has rabies. Gotta put him down.
Kind of.
Yeah, let's see. The monster lunged at him. Scarecrow, it's me! It's Leo! I mean Street Beat! But Bartholomew either did not hear or just did not understand. He swiped a giant paw at Leo that would have crushed him to dust if he hadn't left out of the way in time. Well, guess words aren't going to solve this. With all this dance training, it wasn't too much of a challenge for Leo to duck and dodge the monster's attacks. The monster must have realized that he wouldn't be able to land a direct hit attack on Leo because he whipped up another cyclone. How is he doing this? Leo bobbed and wove around the cyclone, making sure to avoid it as he tried to get closer to Bartholomew. Lance's mark at last came into his range. Now! He thrust the 2 fragments of Scarecrow's heart into the mark. An ear-splitting scream ripped out of Bartholomew's throat as the negative power started to slow from his body. Within the writhing darkness stood Scarecrow, his face slack and eyes glazed over. Leo shouted his name and ran to him, shaking him by the shoulders to try and snap him out of the trance. Wake up! Wake the fuck up! Scarecrow's distant gaze dialed in to focus on Leo. He smiled the gentle smile Leo remembered, though it was tinged with sorrow. Shucks, Street Beat, my memory's sort of fuzzy, but I attacked you, didn't I? Never should have let that negative power take hold of me and turn me so hateful. I know it ain't no excuse, but I'm awfully sorry. Leo shook his head. It's okay. I know it really wasn't you. I sure owe you big time for rescuing me. Like I said, I don't remember much since the negative power took over, except how heartsick it made me. But Leo noticed the dark light lingering in Scarecrow's eyes. He was not totally free of the negative power's grasp yet. Listen, I have to defeat Lance so I can go back to where I came from. Would you help me fight him? Scarecrow shook his head. I remembered everything from the real world. I worked real hard on the farm so I could give my missus all the nice things she deserved, so I could send our boy to college. Then one night, the radio said there was a chance some rain and wind was a-coming, but it wasn't any old rain and wind that came, but one of the worst twisters I'd ever seen. The dancing trees in my vision, they weren't dancing. They were the trees on my farm getting tossed around like rag dolls in its wake. Leo understood now why Scarecrow had put up stone walls around his farm. They were not meant to keep him out, but to protect the fields from the terrible wind. That was why there were no arrow slits. And that explained why Bartholomew had used a cyclone to attack him at the end. It was the fiercest, scariest power Scarecrow knew. Fun fact! As devastating as tornadoes are, hurricanes are worse. Go ahead.
I've been in one before.
Yeah.
Granted, lockdown, but it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. So, to give you guys an idea, hurricane damage, like a hurricane, a powerful hurricane can do as much damage can do the equivalent amount of damage as an atomic bomb. So, and hurricanes are fucking scary. So, again, I get why the wind is such... Yeah, the wind is scary. Remember, the wind is not your friend. It can be, and then it's not.
But when it comes to hurricanes, the worst damage comes from the flooding.
Yep.
Because, the tides surge upward onto the land.
Yeah. Let's see. That night, our old house moaned and groaned so much I could have sworn we were going to get blown away. We couldn't take a single step outside for all fear of getting tossed around. The next morning, I went outside and saw all the corn torn out at the roots. None of the crop had been spared. My sweet boy tried to comfort me, said he didn't need to go to college, but hearing that only broke what was left of my heart. I remember the shovel falling out of my hands, and that's when I saw the Balan Theater right in the middle of my mangled fields. Truth is, the corn crop on my stage would never ripen. I reckon that's account of me being so afraid of a storm coming right before harvest time. I didn't want to grow something just to watch all that hard work get destroyed again. I get it, said Leo. Now he knew why he felt so uneasy on his first visit to Scarecrow's stage. When the farmer had told him all he did was sit in his rocking chair and look out at the fields of corn that the farmer made sure would always stay on the cusp of harvest, eternal potential that would never be lost or ruined. I broke my back working that farm. What do I got to show for it? What am I supposed to do now that it's gone? Ain't nothing for me back in the real world. Might as well stay here on my stage. That isn't true, insisted Leo. I know how much you want to protect your family and how strong you are in the face of hardship. I gave both of those things back to you. Use that power to defeat Lance so you can go home to the real world, to your family. And do what? Shucks, how can I face him after all this? The farmer hung his head, covered his face with his hands. I'm as useless as a scarecrow in an empty field. Suddenly, Leo became aware of Balan's presence beside him. For a time, we must leave him be, he sighed. Banishing the storm alone will not set him free. His despair goes very, very deep. His heart isn't yet strong enough to fight off its creep. But you've done all you can for your friend. The rest is up to him to mend. Are you sure?
And that's why Balan can't be with you for the whole game, because only you can make the changes you need to make yourself and your life better.
Are you sure? Leo looked at the farmer one last time. He still had his hands over his face, but between his fingers, Leo could see the dark light that still glittered in his eyes. Come, little one. There are others yet to save, said Balan, glancing at Leo. Tell me where you want to go next, and the way I shall pave. To Invisible Custodian stage. A kindly old chap he may appear at first, but I wouldn't underestimate the dark power his heart may have nursed. Balan brushed the brim of his hat, and Scarecrow's farm vanished.
Okay, then stop reading. It is out of order because this stage is one of the last ones.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is here.
Yeah, why is this out of order? Yeah, I don't know either.
We'd have to, go looking for Sea Gazer's chapter. In fact, the search bar, just Sea Gazer.
Hang on. Let's see.
It's on 188.
Oh, okay. Well, that helps. Ah, press the wrong button.
He's bald.
Yeah, hold on. There, had to turn that off. My mic
Just
thing.
control that time.
Yeah, my mic thing got turned on. There we go.
You got bald for free.
Let's see. So the one that
So 188.
the one that used to be Sea Gazer. Leo stood in a carpet of bindweed where Sea Gazer had sat and stared out at the ocean. This had been a beach the last time he'd been here. He remembered playing with Clock Tower Kid and the others in the waves. But now the water had receded so much he could barely see it. And in front of him towered a giant stone structure. An aquatic shrine? Did she build that to protect her stage? Balan shook his head. No, little one, that's been there from the start, just like Skygazer and Cetacean Island. Seagazer asked Lance for this part, but she never even went into the water. In that respect, she and Skygazer really are two of a kind. They each wanted somewhere that couldn't reach designed. But while Lance may have created the shrine by the shore, remember this stage is hers at its core. Balan vanished, leaving Leo alone to puzzle over those enigmatic words. He set off across the dry seabed. Up close, the aquatic shrine was beautiful. It was covered in colorful coral and oddly shaped shellfish, but the walls around it were so tall, Leo couldn't see a way inside. Yeah, and it's because of the way the walls and the levels designed that getting the Balan statues, is even harder.
That's why they gave you the, teleportation genie.
Now what? He wandered around the perimeter and discovered a couple pillars made of water. Atop one of those, Sea Gazer's illusion stood beckoning. You want me to swim inside them? He shut his eyes, and when he opened them again, he was wearing a finned costume. What am I now, some sort of fish? He flapped his tail fin back and forth. No, I'm not a fish. The name of the costume came to him. Dynamic Dolphin. And dolphins are mammals, so... whatever. Semantics. Right then. Here goes. Timidly, Leo eased himself into the water pillar. It was hard going at first, figuring out how to use his tail fin to move around, but once he got the hang of it, he sped through the water with joyful ease. Should be a piece of cake swimming up over the shrine walls now. Columns of water were no protection against anyone who could swim, but Sea Gazer would have thought otherwise. This would have been an impenetrable obstacle for her. If she'd ever even wanted to try to get in, Sea Gazer had only ever stared at the ocean. But that's when it hit him. It's because of the dolphins that she doesn't swim. That terrifying sea creature that was trying to kill her in her visions. It must have been a dolphin. Why a dolphin? Why didn't you go with an orca? You know, the things that actually kill people.
There's a reason.
I know. But I mean, and we've seen it in chapter 2. Like, it was an accident. The dolphin knocked her air tank loose and she fell. Like, we know. And she swims with dolphins. Still, if you wanted to make it so she's terrified of a sea creature, you should have gone with an orca. Dolphins do unspeakable things. Yes, I know they do.
It's very bad. Don't swim with dolphins.
I've swam with dolphins before.
Don't do it again.
Okay. But then realization alone didn't tell him her whole story. I'll find out more when I find the fragments of her heart. Whether Sea Gazer had thought the walls and water pillars would be enough to keep Leo out, or whether she was just so kind, even when consumed by negativity, that she didn't want to hurt anyone, he didn't know. Either way, there were hardly any traps or dangerous obstacles that posed serious risk of harm. But there were still plenty of Nagati, and lots of new types Leo had never seen before. He kept his guard up, fending off attack after attack as he made his way through the shrine looking for the heart trees. When he found them, the Tims rammed through the negative barrier so he could get the fragments. The first one he found was the part of Sea Gazer that loved the ocean. Weird that someone named Sea Gazer would get rid of the love for the thing she spends all her time looking at. What must have happened to her in the real world? Leo kept going. He came to a garden where some ocean left behind from the recently receded tide spilled over the shrine walls into a pond. Behind the waterfall, he discovered a hidden passage that led to the second heart tree. This fragment was Sea Gazer's tenaciousness in the face of failure. So, she must have messed up somehow, with something to do with dolphins. Messed up bad enough that she couldn't swim anymore, that she couldn't even stand the ocean she used to love. I wondered what sort of monster she turned into. Judging from the other monsters he'd faced, Leo figured there was a good chance she turned into the thing that terrified her most. He kept going until he came to the heart of the shrine. There he found Sea Gazer, who wasn't Sea Gazer anymore, but Angelica. Fucking really? Really? Angelica. Even though...
Jelly.
Yeah, I know. She was the most atrocious looking dolphin Leo had ever seen. What? She doesn't look anything like a dolphin.
It's the most atrocious looking dolphin. It doesn't even look like a dolphin.
Yeah, gnashing a maw full of jumbled teeth at him in challenge. How can that thing be Sea Gazer? That thing dove right at him. Leo dodged her attack, and as they fought, he began to realize something. All the other monsters he'd fought had disgusted him, but he felt more than that facing Angelica. He felt fascinated by her. The more he thought about it, the more he realized he had felt that about the others too, but just hadn't noticed it at the time. Sea Gazer! He shouted, even though knowing it was useless. It's me, Street Beat! Unsurprisingly, Angelica responded with another attack, spewing forth a school of electric jellyfish. So you were scared of those too, huh? Making sure to keep distance from the shocking jellies, Leo worked his way closer to the monster. The instant he caught sight of Lance's mark, he shoved Sea Gazer's heart fragments into it. I love how he can beat the boss in one hit when it takes me 3. Angelica's face contorted in agony as she shrunk and transformed back into Sea Gazer. Leo splashed closer, then stopped, glancing down. There was seawater up to his ankles. Tide's coming back in. We have to get to the beach. He grabbed her by the hand, and together they fled the aquatic shrine, the waves chasing close behind them. They made it back to the bindweed-blanketed beach just in time. Panting, Leo turned to look at the shrine over his shoulder, but it was already gone, submerged by the ocean once again. Sea Gazer took a few unsteady steps through the bindweed before collapsing and bringing her knees to her chest. She had no sooner crouched down that Balan appeared beside her. Your memories are back, aren't they? Though I know you'd rather have kept them at bay. She nodded. I was a professional diver in the real world, training to be an instructor. I loved the ocean so much. I would have spent all my time swimming if I could, playing with the dolphins. They were terribly curious, the dolphins. And one day they swam over and snuggled right up next to me. It was so adorable. But one of the dolphins got hold of my regulator, yanked it right out of my mouth. I panicked and accidentally took in a bit of seawater. Gagging on that, more of the ocean entered my lungs. I couldn't get my regulator back in my mouth, and I couldn't get my weight belt off. The more I struggled, the faster I sank to the ocean floor. Next thing I knew, I was in a hospital bed. One of my diver colleagues had saved me. My head felt like someone had taken a jackhammer to it and then steamrolled over the pieces. I'd gone so long without air. Yeah, and you probably got the bends, too. I'm willing that might have also happened. For those who don't know what the bends are, or diver bends, yeah. So, here's the deal. The bends is a painful thing. The bends is what happens when divers suffer from, well, it's a diver thing. Basically, and I could be wrong here, someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, the bends occurs when you're down underwater with all of that pressure. Because remember, you go too deep underwater, you start dealing with more pressure on your body because you're lower. There's more pressure on you. Well, this causes the gases in your body to rise because they are now lighter than you are. For example, nitrogen bubbles, which begin to rise to the top, rise in your body. Here's the problem. The thing is, when you're a diver, you can't just go right back up to the surface. You have to slowly make your way back up to the surface so your body can reacclimate to the pressure. Therefore, those nitrogen bubbles will go back down into your body. If you come up too quickly, those nitrogen bubbles start bursting, and it is extremely painful. There are some divers who, if the bends are really serious, the only way to cure it is to basically put you in a pressure chamber. They basically put you inside this thing, shut the doors, and crank the pressure up inside that, whatever that is, inside this chamber, basically, to put more pressure on your body and then slowly release it so you can reacclimate. It is a painful, painful thing. Actually, hold on. Let me, just so I know I'm not talking out of my ass here. Hold on. Yeah, the bends, also called decompression sickness. Let's see. Also called generalized barotrauma, or the bends, refers to injuries caused by a rapid decrease in the pressure that surrounds you, of either air or water. Let's see. Bubbles forming in or near the joints are the presumed case of joint pain with the bends. With high levels of bubbles, complex reactions can take place in the body. The spinal cord and brain are usually affected, causing numbness, paralysis, impaired coordination, and disorders of higher cerebral function. That's like the worst case scenario. See. Decompression sickness can occur in relatively shallow depths. There have been isolated cases in children in very shallow water, but usually depths of around 20 feet or more are common for DCS. Yeah, it's painful. Localized deep pain ranging from mild to excruciating. So, yeah, no thanks. Yeah, let's see. Decompression sickness. Nitrogen travels under high pressure from the lungs to the blood. Swimming up too fast doesn't give nitrogen enough time to leave the blood, forming bubbles and causing pain. A slow return to the surface lets nitrogen return to the lungs where it's breathed out. So yeah, nature is terrifying, but then again, we're human. We're kind of stupid like that.
We're also part of nature, which makes it kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I imagine if she was diving, I imagine she also got the bends because not only did she sink because she couldn't get her weight belt off, but then a rapid rise to the surface because she was basically drowning. Yeah, that probably also messed her up too. She probably had the bends. See, but worse than that, I was terrified of going into the ocean again. All because those adorable dolphins had nearly drowned me just trying to play. Or were they? I couldn't couldn't go into the ocean again after that. I hated it. I hated the dolphins. I was so angry that all I could do was sit at the beach and look at the water. Then one day, I went to the beach, and the Balan Theater was there. Leo put a hand on Seagazer's shoulder. But part of you still loves the ocean. Come on, help me fight Lance. Once we defeat him, you can get back to swimming. Are you kidding? She shook her head violently. I have no love for the ocean or for the dolphins anymore. I don't ever want to go back to that world. It nearly killed me. The dark light glittered stubbornly in her eyes. You may believe those lies, but I think your heart desires otherwise. Balan leaned close, peering into her face. For proof to your beautiful stage, you need only look. The real world and its oceans you never totally forsook. I'm sorry, she said in a small voice, but promise me you'll save Skygazer. I can't bear the thought of him trapped as a monster in that awful darkness. I promise, Leo said, and turned to walk off down the beach without another word. Why, little one, you seem quite upset, said Balan, glancing sidelong at Leo as they walked. Is your inability to convince the others to help you fight Lance making you fret? No. It's hard to believe that when you wear such a frown. Tell me, what is it that's got you so down? It's just everyone's been hurt so badly. Makes me wonder if they'll ever be happy, even once they leave Wonderworld. Balan snorted. Happiness isn't weather. It can't be forecast. Not by you, nor by me, nor by anyone who asked. Then what's the point of making us pass a test before we can leave Wonderworld? The test restores balance. Nothing more, nothing less. Your happiness is up to you once you leave. A problem you yourself must address. Don't tell me you're getting cold feet, little one. Not now, when your task is so close to done. Balan looked at him long and hard, and Leo saw himself reflected in that appraising gaze. I heard was oh, sorry, Delta. You missed a pretty good deal. But don't worry, the VOD will be uploaded, so don't worry. No way am I giving up now. Not when I know how much everyone suffers when they're trapped by the negativity. I have to fight to free them from that. Besides, I promised Seagazer. Grinning, Balan reached up to brush the brim of his top hat. Doubting you was my mistake. One I shan't a second time make. So yeah, that's it so far. That's as far as we've gotten in the game. But we've only got an hour.
An hour's still pretty nice. Besides, let's go.
Yeah, sure. Hang on. There's this little voice in my head that's like, it's too late. Call it now. Don't. But nope. I'm committed.
You may want to escape the terror. The horrible monstrosity. But you have an hour.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, before I forget, for everyone here, I need to let y'all know this, because this is important. So, I know y'all see over here on my stream the whole get your subs for Twitch's new rules. Those new rules go into effect next week. And for those who don't know what those rules are, real quick, let me explain. I've said it before, but I'll repeat myself. Twitch is passing this new rule where Tier 1 subs are going to be worth $6 rather than $5. Now, the reason they're doing this, because they're fucking greedy, obviously. But here's the kicker about that. Me, the streamer, normally with Twitch, it's a 70-30 cut. They get 70, I get 30. Unless it's bits. With bits, it's 90-10 my way. With subs, it's 70-30 Twitch's way. Here's the thing. With that other dollar, like that $6, it won't be a 70-30 split. I'm only going to get, like, I think 15% of it. Or some shit like that. It's this weird algorithm number. I don't know. However, if you get your subs now and renew them when the time comes, like by setting it to auto-renew, you don't have to pay $6. It'll still be $5. So, if you want to get a sub or you want to gift a sub to someone, do it now. Because come next week, it'll be $6 per sub, which is so fucking stupid. But
it is. But
it's incredibly stupid. Like, and we know why they're doing it. Because they want to get more money. Hey, but here's the thing, as it's been pointed out by people, this is hostile to smaller streamers. Because, like, to remind you guys, like, hold on, where's my thing? All right, so here's the thing. Currently, right now, remember, if you wanted to gift, like, say, 10 subs, that's $50, okay? Well, come, July, first week of July, it'll be 60, maybe more, which is just utter bullshit. Like, this is not a good system. So, that's why I'm telling y'all now, and again, I know someone might say, oh, you're just doing it for the money, you want the money. I don't care about the money. Like, y'all have already pushed me. Like, I currently have over 100 subs. That's why we're doing the Balan stuff. But here's the thing. I'm telling y'all now, if you want to sub or you want to gift subs, do so now. Because next week, because remember, I'm not streaming next week. Well, okay, I will be streaming next week, but by then the thing will probably have gone into effect. So if you want to get your subs, get them now, and then also maybe like 1 or 2 days into next week, because after that, it'll be too late. So you need to get them now. Because remember, like I said, if you renew them, it will still be $5. But if you have to, like, and that's, if you just auto renew them every month. But if you lose your sub and then have to resub, it's $6. So if you want to get a sub to any of your favorite streamers or you want to gift them, do it now. Because we're not getting another chance. And as far as I know, to my knowledge, Twitch did not back down on this. So hold on, let's see. I can actually check.
My love?
Yes?
Are you going on a tangent that we don't have to play the game?
No, I'm not. I'm pulling the game up. Let's see. Hang on. All right. There we go. Let's see. I hate how it's still so loud, even if I turn the music down.
Yeah.
Sound mixing is all over the fucking place on this game.
As far as the game goes, I kind of blame Arzest.
Yeah.
It may not be fair, but I think it is. Because at the time, they had only made mobile games, so that makes the one, the whole one button thing seem more, to make more sense as far as why it was done.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I just checked this. So, get this, before we get started. The whole $6 Twitch thing, I just checked. It's a bit worse than I thought, because guess what? Only certain people have to pay $6 per sub. And that's if you're on mobile.
There goes me.
Yeah, so if you're on mobile... if you're on mobile and get a sub, you're paying $6 because the mobile companies take their cut, which is why it's $6 mobile. It'll still be $5 on PCs.
So just only sub on PCs.
Yeah, only sub on PC, unless they go behind our backs and decide that no, it's still $6 even on PC. Fuck you. So, who knows?
But here we are.
Yep. Trying to remember. Hold on. Let me. This hurts because I'm gonna have to go back. Ugh. Okay. Right. See, and that's kind of the thing that annoys me because to unlock the next stages, you need to get enough statues. So the game's like, oh well, go back and grind the statues. Yeah, hey, how about instead you just make it so just by playing the level, I get enough statues to move forward in the game? How about that?
That'd be too easy.
Yeah, that would be too easy. I know. That would be too easy.
trying to make the game last longer than it normally actually would.
Alright, so what to do? Move on to... Keep going with the third level. I don't have anything! Keep going with the third level or go back and grind? Try to get the...
Do third level because...
I know.
Yeah.
Because there's certain ones that you can only unlock. You know, you can only get the statues with the right costumes, I know.
Also because, after we beat the game, there will be a second type of statues to collect.
You have got to be shitting me.
I am not shitting you, and
See?
that is why you will need to get the Balan costume post-game, because there is post-game content.
I'm not doing it for the post-game. I just want 100% the game.
The post-game has the extra percentage to make it 100%. At some point, you will need a guide. But for now, that's not the case.
I'm suffering because of you guys. Appreciate it.
Just play like normal until you beat the game, and then the game will let you jump back in after that, and then you could just clear everything else out that you need. And then once you finish beating the game
What?
and everything...
Okay, guess I can't jump on that one. Go ahead. Once I finish the game, what?
You can go back into all the levels and just collect everything you need. I'll say before that, the reward isn't... What do you mean because of Amina? I didn't give him 100 subs single-handedly. I'm not rich.
Amina was the one who wanted, Amina was the one who, suggested playing Balan Wonderworld, and then it was Andrea who dropped the idea of 100 subs meaning 100%.
And besides, this is all actually Zaruk's fault.
How is it all my fault?
You were very concerned about, like, engagement and all that, so I suggested a game I knew people would, you know, be interested in to, like, you know, boost you to play it. Just to see. Just because they're curious. Because they wanted to be entertained.
Well, fun fact, it's as bad as you think.
Was I wrong?
No. But yes, the game
I
is...
was right.
Yeah, the game is as bad as you think, everyone. And that's what makes me sad, because there is, like I've said earlier, there's potential here. A lot of potential. Just, it's all untapped.
This is the price of going for clout. Clout is something you can be without.
Also, one thing, I will admit, one genuine, like, I will not apologize critique for this game, is that every costume should be able to jump.
Yes, absolutely it should.
This game reached such a high level of cringe, it forms a singularity event every time someone plays it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's that bad, but it is like...
I'm having fun.
But there's a lot of things in this game that make you wonder, what the fuck? Have any of you guys ever designed a game before? And the answer is no. At least not to this level.
Now balance the top hat man.
Yay, floaty jump, like a ton of the other ones. That is, okay, that is a cool concept, though. How you can basically fly almost infinitely when it's nighttime. That is a cool concept. Sadly, they basically probably barely do anything with it. Gotcha. Chaos Dragon, I'm gonna let that slide. But only barely. Alright, let's let the timer run down and I'll reset it.
So, how you enjoying the music?
The music is good, but so far that's the only thing that, you know, they have going for it. again, it's like we joked before. It's like, help, my game's budget's all out of whack. Yeah, you might want to take, don't use so much money on, London's West End performers. Yeah, no, I can't do that.
To be fair, they do a good job, despite, they could have hired some local Japanese performers, but they're not the West End. So.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that would have been way better to do because, supporting theater. But also, you still would have gotten pretty much the same results. Plus, there's always Square's in-house music team as well.
I'm willing to bet, though, Square probably didn't want their in-house music team working on something that they probably didn't have a lot of faith in. Well, no, because remember, he was new. Yuji Naka was brand new to the company, and he openly admitted he didn't understand storytelling, so they were probably like, ugh, why would we trust our music team to this guy?
Why did we hire him to begin with?
Please be careful with that. Golf clubs are actually really fragile in the middle. Oh god, the wind. Ugh.
It's time to play golf for real, for real.
What even is that gravity? What even is that what even is that? Seriously? Supposed to give me a putter for that, but okay.
Two isn't bad.
Nuts. The wind.
Soft claps are heard everywhere.
And yeah, you don't get to play that again until you beat the boss. Too bad.
What's funny about that is that exercise actually is part of how you can help recovery go faster. So, like, these sports isn't just because for little kids, but also because, like, actually working out, doing some kind of sport, being active, does help your mind recover because, because your body's active.
Boomerang cutter! Boomerang cutter! Oh wow, I'm actually quoting a better game than this. Boomerang cutter! Wait, how am I supposed to... Oh, okay, I get it. There we go. Yeah, you do look like a Sneemon with that outfit on. It's supposed to be a praying mantis, I think.
Mantises are pretty cool.
I'm willing to bet there's a statue around here somewhere. But it doesn't get enough height, so... Oh well. Alright, boys, do your thing.
Destroy it, Tims.
Oh, we're just going right into the... Well, I was about to say, we're going right into the boss fight. Yep.
You did it!
Yeah, of course everyone's afraid of the kid who actually has an interesting hobby.
I know I say this all the time with certain games, and you can clock me if I'm wrong, because obviously, but I think she has some form of the tism.
That looks like a chameleon up front. Okay.
That's a butterfly nose. They can drink your blood.
Yes, they can, which is terrifying.
Okay, so Lich, you see, when it comes to children developing, they don't know what actually is like super traumatic and what isn't because they're still experiencing things. And since she's so young, being ostracized by everyone for having a harmless hobby is actually very destructive on her mental health. Now, if she was older, then it probably wouldn't bug her because, you know, she'd be used to it. And then she'd have other ways to find people who are like her and share her interests. But she isn't old enough. She's still a kid, and for her, this is the most hurtful pain she's felt so far. It's why you have to be gentle with kids who kind of fall over and then start screaming, because for them, you know, for you, it's you just fell, calm down. But for us, you get what I mean.
Gotcha. That was all 3, so...
It's why bullying's so hard on kids growing up, you know, and it leaves scars as adults, because sure, in context, it probably wasn't that bad, but it actually did harm you at the time.
Yep.
And the scars will linger.
I'm skipping the dance numbers.
No, we have
Yes.
to watch the dance.
No.
At least once.
I already did it once.
Did you fight this boss in particular once?
No, but we've seen the dances.
All the songs are different.
Okay, full disclosure here. Did anyone else, as a kid growing up, actually take care of caterpillars and have them turn into butterflies?
Me.
Same here.
See, guys, it's cool.
Oh god, he's a teacher! Nice. Got them all.
Ay. At least once. Because all the songs are different, and they all have different lyrics. And then once you 100% a stage, they turn to English. So that's why you should listen to them at least once.
Then I'll listen to them once. I've 100% of the stage.
Aw, come on. There's double the songs if you listen to them. Besides.
No, I'm putting my foot down on this one.
But Balinese is pretty.
Also, just notice she's wearing the same earrings as the loading screen icon.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, if Clock Tower Kid's such a big deal, why are we already seeing her stage? Oh well.
That's right, Jim. Join me.
Do you want me to go back and fight the boss again? So we can see that?
Next time.
Wait, no! Why did they reset? Well, I had 9, the thing had hit 9. Oh, never mind, I see, it's added up right there, okay. Got it.
Now we could read Bugsy's chapter next time.
Oh god, I don't have enough for all of you.
I have too many children to feed.
Okay, Jesus! Okay, you need... Okay, well that's to unlock the next set of levels, okay. Back to the drop mines for you, and I expect you to be smiling. Oh, you guys want to know something stupid? Okay, get this. So you would think from the from the pause menu like this, you'd be like, okay, well if I press B or back, I can leave this. Nope. Because it's one button gameplay, so you actually have to press A to resume playing. That is so dumb. Alright, might as well check out the next area.
So which one? You have options.
This one. I'm going in numerical order.
It's time for the Sky Gazer.
No, I don't want to play him out of order. If the book doesn't want to go in order, then I will. Right. Of course that wouldn't work. Unless you have a flying one like this. Not a key to be found.
You can if you look around.
Oh, there it is. Okay, let's see. How long does the power last, I wonder? Oh, screw you guys. I brought a combat form just for this. And it's not working. Well, kind of. It kind of is.
Yes, you become an orb.
Where to lock on enemies and balloons while in midair. Take it. Okay, got it. Oh, well. I mean, you say I can lock on enemies while in the air, but it doesn't fly. Oh, yeah, it basically is the homing attack, isn't it? Yes, Mr. Yuji Naka, we know. You helped make Sonic.
People like to credit him for being like the only creator, but that is definitely not the
No.
case. There was multiple hands in Sonic.
Yeah, he was more the technical side of things. Not the creative aspect.
In fact, they brought back Sonic's artist to actually do the art for this game and the designs, which is why they look so good. It's stylish.
I need that yellow one. I see something down there. Ah! We'll check that in a second. That's a new one. Oh god, the box.
Here it is.
The box fox.
The legend.
Invincible box. The costume transforms between fox and box when it feels like it.
When he feels like it.
Try sliding while in box form to break certain objects you normally couldn't.
When he feels like it. The fox is very particular.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's nice. Great. That is a... I get the concept, but that's really dumb.
We don't use box around here.
Well, I need to, though, because I'm willing to bet that's why it's up on this ledge. Because they want you to use it so you can slide down into the mirror.
You can go in the mirror.
Oh, great. Screw this.
Turns into box.
Nope.
After saying screw this.
No, I'm just gonna kick things. What even is gravity?
Screw gravity.
Yeah, screw gravity. There we go. What in the world? Wait, what?
You need a costume for that.
Hey,
And it's a Clock Tower Kid stage.
Hey, Inu, thank you for gifting a sub to Ravenger. I appreciate it. How you doing, buddy? Oh, so I can't go in because why?
You need the costume.
Okay.
And it's on Clock Tower Kid stage.
Yeah, thanks, Inu. I appreciate it, buddy. How you doing? Screw gravity.
Actually, wait, go back. There
What?
was a costume box there, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was for the sheep.
Ah, okay, never mind then. I was like, wait, hold on, was I wrong? No, I was right.
Hello? Working at the moment, but doing well. I'm glad you're doing well, bud.
Are you not entertained?
Me? No, not really.
No, I meant Inu.
Okay, enough of this. Kick! 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 You guys came to the wrong dreamscape. Ow. Great. I need that back. Doesn't go up high enough, okay?
If I remember correctly, you can use box to destroy the crystals to get through them. But you don't really need to. Just gotta be precise.
She says as I get hit and fall.
That's why you have to be precise.
No! No, 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 no! Okay, thank God. Oh, God, I just realized this is the only costume I have shit. Nope! Fix that right the fuck now. Because I do not
Your
want...
wardrobe.
Yeah, I do not want this costume turning off and on while I'm trying to play this game. Of course. Wardrobe, please.
Boxes can't open wardrobes.
If the item you give to the player prevents them from doing something they need to do to play the game, then you haven't just fucked up, you fucked up too many times! This is incredibly stupid and player hostile. For God's sakes, there's a problem here, I want to fix it, and the game won't let me because the power-up is stopping me. What
This
in
is why
this-
we don't use box.
Yeah. Look, sorry. I know that, yeah, I'm sorry if I scared some people, but my anger is justified here. This is incredibly stupid. And I can't change to any of the other ones because I don't have them right now. So, screw it. Just go with what I got. We'll just go with what I got. Sorry. Well, I do know there's costumes down there, so... Now, if I recall, I can't get over there because that's a sheep one and I can't hover, so... Yeah, that's another thing this game needed. Costume grinding, so you can never run out of the one you need. Ugh. Okay. Nope. Not playing with you guys. Kick. Dive kick. What? Okay, so I guess if he hits me, even if I hit him... Okay. Don't you love it when they're how... Yeah, this thing has a homing attack ability. Except if you hit the enemy when it hits you, you both get hurt. Ugh.
The stairs are open, and I was just taking them.
Well, except there's stuff up there, so... Except I can't go high enough, apparently, so... And I can't do anything there because that's another power. There's another statue right there. Hang on. Woo, I was close. Okay. Gotcha. Sorry. I apologize.
He won't do it again.
No promises on that.
He'll try his best not to do it again.
Egg. How in the world am I supposed to get over there? The anger is strong with this one. Gee, I wonder why! Okay, that's all the powers for this world. Or at least probably the ones I'm going to need to fight the boss, so...
I mean, someone did, literally.
Oh god, Lance, what do you want?
You're not edgy, Inu. You're soft, like a marshmallow.
Talking about Lance. I mean, yeah, he does look kind of edgy, doesn't he? Gotcha. Alright, now I know there's a Balan statue up there. I saw it in the cuts, in the loading screen, so... Worried that that plant might attack me.
Tim's. Attack the plant. It ate a Tim.
Oh.
It's eating your children.
Got it. Balan bout.
And this is what Balan's doing while we're out and about.
Don't have to redo that one.
You're free.
Ah, come on.
I don't think that's actually possible with the mechanics of the game, Delta. Besides, he will do a Nuzlocke later in Pokemon.
Yeah, that is the plan. I do plan on doing a Nuzlocke probably in August.
That'd make the game impossible, though.
Ah, come on. Problem is with the camera is that the camera needs to be able to see the balloon, and camera's not that good, so... There we go. Got it.
That's just the thing. Lost condition and makes game unplayable at all are different things.
Yeah, they are very different things.
Like, in a Nuzlocke, you know, you can catch other Pokemon, but every costume has its own thing for a reason. It's still in a playable form regardless of how good it is.
Wonder where this goes. What? Oh. Oh, this seems very unsafe. Yeah, no thanks. Not risking that.
The sheep said no.
No, I'll be doing, like, it'll be my first ever Nuzlocke, so I'll be finding out whichever games are the easiest and doing that one. Let go of my child!
Remember, if a Tim is eaten by a plant and you leave the level, that Tim's dead.
Yeah, I know.
Also, I'll be back.
Okay. Timdale. Populate the Isle of Tims with 30 Tims. There. There you go. Got all these yellow drops. Might as well get rid of them. Hey, that one's got a Balan hat on!
I am returned.
That Tim has a Balan hat.
Yes, that can happen sometimes. There are other kinds of hats too, and Tim's can be born with patterns and different kinds of ears.
Yeah, I noticed that. Oh no, you don't. You guys already have red ribbons. You don't need more red drops.
Well, we do other colors.
Yeah, because see, all three of them have red ribbons. Wish I could get closer and look, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, you have a red ribbon. So yeah, you guys don't need any more. You guys don't need red ones. And look, I may be an asshole and keep bashing this game, but I will admit, these guys are adorable.
Success!
Closest thing you're gonna get to a Chow Garden nowadays.
That plushie may be very expensive, but Zaruk, if you really want one, I have the power of sewing.
No, we're good. Appreciate the Borblings.
Actually, I should just make one for myself. I can make a King Tim for me. I can make it like a beanbag because, well, you'll see.
Just no one bring up the time when I first started this game I yeeted one off the island.
Don't worry, the book says he was okay. And then I died. But I got better.
Alright. Probably gonna be... If everything goes according to plan, we can beat this level, then fight the boss, and then we'll call it for the night. As long as everything goes according to plan.
And then next time we play, we can read 2 more pieces of the chapter.
Mm-hmm. And yes,
Jem really wants it?
we get to see the dance. Yes, yes. If we get to the boss.
Thank you, Jem. See, Jem agrees.
Oh dear. Kick! 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 Combo breaker! Got the achievement, defeat 5 Nagati in a row.
You can jump over those crystals, but you can also use Box to destroy them, but do you really want to use Box?
If it gets me back there. Oh, do I have to, like, kick your thing? No? Hmm. Is there a power nearby? Oh, well.
There is.
Hang on.
It's one of the ones I kind of hate. Because of how they play.
Oh, wait, the Tims are doing it. What?
Oh, I guess not.
You...
What's the box for then?
Good question. Just gonna
Whatever.
walk right through there.
Precision.
Got it. There we go. Nope.
Also, make sure Box of Box is in the last part of the costumes before you get the new one over here.
Yep. Oh, you have to stand still. That's dumb.
I know, I hate these costumes so much.
Hey, at least it
Like-
jumps. Pew, pew, pew. What's up, Inu? This game inspired me. How? To not make shitty games.
Do you make games in general?
Oh, I don't think you do. You, Inu?
If you do, I want to play it. 9-9?
No, he's saying, no. Oh, you're planning one. Okay. I'm intrigued. If you need beta testers or people to play it, we'll do it. At least the lasers have slight homing. Thank God for that. But the range. Gonna be inspired by the 1,000-Year Door. I am so in. If you want someone to try out the game, or maybe give you money to maybe have a cameo, I'm in. Speaking of which, do you guys know I'm actually gonna be in a video game?
I mean, I did, but tell them.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, y'all probably remember a while back I played that game, you know, You Can Talk to People. You know, Sangria's friend Erica is on the sound design group for that game. Yeah, well, on their Patreon, if you actually pledge a certain amount of money, you can actually have a cameo in the game, or actually be a character. I will be a character in the game. Which reminds me, I need to ask Dear Lord, who's the writer for the game. I was actually going back and watching an old clip of that game. I remember, Amina, you probably remember Dear Lord made the joke about how part of the dialogue option was hidden by Joyce's fat ass, remember? Because they were there watching the game being played.
That's right, her no ass.
Yeah.
The plate ass.
Yeah, and
the
I
plain
yeah,
ass.
and I joked about how, well, he makes the game, so he gets to say, I'm gonna have to ask him. I'm going to ask him, like, probably tonight and be like, hey, so you probably remember that that clip that happened when you were watching the game. Could that be a joke between Zaruk and Joyce, that thick, you know, that fat ass or thick thighed people need to stick together? Because I did make that comment.
But she has no ass. There is none. Like a table, flat. It's actually very sad.
Yeah, Inu saying that, you know, yeah, no.
Wait, Inu,
Hmm?
is this a fan game or like an original IP? Because if it's just a fan game, I would just turn it into an original project off the go.
Fan
See?
game.
Just don't talk about it ever. Share it in secret with your close friends, and once it's finally finished 100%, then you can talk about it, and hope that people make copies and then keep it secret and safe. They still hate nonprofit things.
Yeah.
Just never talk about it until it's done.
Yep.
And then just keep backups of it, because they will take it down. And it sucks a lot that you can't, like, advertise it, because that's how Nintendo finds this stuff. It's not, you're being a joy kill, it's, you're telling Nintendo what you're doing with, like, air horns and rainbow flags when you do. This isn't you're being a killjoy, this is being pragmatic.
Yep. Yeah, I can't get in there. I don't have the right costume for it. I could get up there, but there's no... Oh, wait, there is one. Good.
Okay, so you see that thing?
Yeah.
The stage thing?
Yeah.
You need a costume for that.
I know. But given that there's a horn dude there, I'm pretty sure it's nearby.
That doesn't work.
What do you
Because
mean?
Nintendo goes after free games as well.
They do.
Using the IP at all is actually what they care about. Doubly so if you make money. Just keep it secret and keep it safe.
Yeah, channel your inner Gandalf. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. There it is.
The reason why is because Nintendo got spooked after being sued by Universal once because Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and don't forget, also, we've seen Nintendo do stuff like with AM2R.
Go stand on the stage and see what happens.
Huh. Riveting.
And there are stages like this all around the world.
Oh yeah, I know. Alright, time to homing attack my way across. Actually, wait, I need to get the sheep back. I need my Wooloo costume.
Sonic Unleashed had good music and was fun. Don't even. Everyone blows it out of proportion. Oh, he was a werewolf once. And the day stages were still good. And the gameplay was fun. And the music was awesome. Sonic fans are so sensitive.
And it's also the reason why so many Sonic games are always so different, is because Sega's openly said that it's always been the Western fans and their anger that's kind of like scared Sonic Team to really do anything. Like
So am I. I'm also a Sonic fan.
Alright, don't y'all start fighting or I'm gonna have to separate y'all.
I'll just kick him off the stream. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I
you
won't
better
do
be
that.
kidding. You don't have that right.
I mean, I do. I'm a mod, but I won't do it. We're not fighting.
Yee. Ooh, okay, I was close. Hmm?
Just talk to my sister. She wants to know when I'm done so I can eat dinner.
Go eat dinner now.
In 10 minutes. Literally 10 minutes.
Nice. That is another statue. Oh yeah, the Sonic Paradox team. Yeah, they released Sonic Paradox Sonic Shorts 9 yesterday. Alright, time to homing attack my way across this place. Wait a minute. I missed something? How am I supposed to get up there? Ah! I see.
What's the news, Furry?
Oh yeah, that. The US government is suing Adobe.
I heard about that. Is there any developments?
Who knows at this point?
I don't think it'll stick.
I think it will.
I mean, it'd be nice if it did.
Here's the thing. When the government wants something, the government gets it. Whether they, whether you agree or not, if the government wants it, they're gonna get it. So... Oh gosh,
What's the news, Furry?
So yeah, what is the news? Hey Akio, how you doing? I can't see. Right, there we go. Wait a minute. I wonder.
So it's because there was classified documents Adobe was stealing.
Oh, okay, then yes, the government is absolutely going to get its due.
So it definitely will stick.
Yeah, absolutely it'll stick.
That, or they'll make a separate program for the government. That way they have to, just for them.
No, because the damage still needs to be corrected. It's still a security breach, so the damage still needs to be corrected. As for how they'll do that, no clue. And trust me, I know about that because due to an accident at work, I committed a security violation. I'm good. They actually let me off. They're like, yeah, it was an accident. Nothing bad came of it. You're fine. But with classified documents like that, oh no, the government will get its due. Homing kick, homing kick, homing kick, homing kick. Adobe doesn't just do antivirus stuff, they also do programming and a bunch of other things too.
Photoshop.
Yep. Also, if you want to edit PDFs, you gotta use Adobe now. And Adobe is a very greedy company because they know how valuable they are, so they keep abusing it and getting to do whatever they want. Shit! Yeah, who is your favorite Sonic character, Mina? Inu wants to know.
It's pretty basic. It's the basic answer. Everyone will be disappointed.
It's Shadow, isn't it?
It's Shadow. Look, man, he has flesh wings now.
Meanwhile,
all his music is awesome.
Meanwhile, me being over here being the Whisper the Wolf and Blaze the Cat enjoyer.
When it comes to Sonic ships, I do think that a couple are cute because I don't have just one. I'm a multi-shipper, which means I don't fight everyone because I don't just have one OTP forever and ever.
Can I make that jump? Also, yes.
As far as
I was gonna say, Jim, yes. Cream is adorable, and going off the comics lately, Cream is a stone cold badass. Yeah, got it. I'll get with you in a minute, Balan. Wait your damn turn. Alright, now we can talk.
Okay, so my top 3 Sonic ships. The first one is Ace Sonic. No ship at all. He's just a super busy guy who probably wouldn't slow down enough for everyone to actually be in a dedicated relationship. So I think Ace is most likely, like shonen protagonists who are always like, I love everyone. Everyone's my friend. And it's just like, God damn it! Like Rex. Disney is like, I love you. And then Rex is
I
like,
love you and all you guys. And he meant it because he had 3 wives.
and he gave them all children.
Yeah.
It must have been very exhausting.
Except we don't know what happened to Mithra's kid.
No one... Mithra's so... Like, she deserves more love. She honestly does. She isn't that bad. Everyone's like, oh, Mithra's so awful. No, she isn't. She really isn't.
Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I screwed up. Ah. Man. Alright, I'll have to come back here later.
My next Sonic ship is Blaze because they are both pretty fast, and I think that even though she's royalty and wouldn't, like, you know, actually, like, be with him, I think they can kind of, like, get each other's vibes. He could visit now and then in her realm.
Where the heck am I supposed to go? Oh, I see. I gotta jump on that?!
It's the cetaceous whale. Now we're on the island that was out of reach on purpose. It's like the coolest thing here. I love this thing. Look at it. Look at it!
I am. I don't know where my Tims went. I heard that! Unhand my child!
Just like standing on this thing for a while and just watching the skybox go by.
Alright, boss time. My guy, if you want to fly, just go get a pilot's license. Okay, you had me at first, but nah, you lost me. Whoa! Gotcha! Wait, was that 2 hits or 1? I'm confused. Ah! So it was 1, okay. There we go. Done and dusted. And now the dancing. Because God
Its own
forbid,
unique song.
God forbid if we get West End, we gotta have the dance.
It's cathartic.
Chapter 4 complete. Okay, is it just me, or is it weird that I'm getting references to that Miyazaki movie about the guy who made the Zero Fighter?
I think it's intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a Miyazaki movie about the guy who creates the Zero Fighter in World War II, and they try to, play it off as him like just a guy who loves to fly and wants to create the best airplane ever, and then realizes he's like, yeah, I've made the best airplane ever, and he gives it to the Japanese, to the government, who then gives it to the military, and he's apparently doesn't know that plane's going to go on to kill hundreds, if not thousands, of people. Rise of Wind, thank you.
The thing was that Miyazaki's father was an airplane repairman during World War II.
Yes.
And that's where he got his love of planes and his hatred of war and Japanese imperialism.
Yep.
Or just kind of in general.
Alright, let's at least get the next Tower of Tim thing built, because all of them are running around doing stuff. Shouldn't take too long.
It is, however, time for me to go.
Okay. Well, you have a good night, alright? I love you.
Have a good night. I'll be in chat.
Yep.
I love you. Mwah.
Let's see. Okay, well, if you guys are hungry, come over here. Or just ignore me and keep riding the thing. Okay. Yeah, they're having too much fun. Oh, no, here they come. I see you. There we go. Partially repair the clock of happiness. Okay. Where's my save thing? There we go. Well, hold on. Well, that is going to be it for now, everybody. Whoops, wrong button. Nah, I'm not going to... Let's just ignore that. That's going to do it for now, everyone. And that's going to do it for this week of streams. Like I told you guys, I won't be here tomorrow. I will be gone, and then Wednesday I'm going to be with, I'm going to head out of town so I can be with my brother's wedding. So I'll be back next week. So, yeah. Y'all have a good night. We're not going to raid anyone tonight, I don't think. Let's just all, wind down for the night. As always, it's been a privilege and a pleasure to entertain all you guys. I hope you have a great night. I will see you all next week. I'll still be in Discord, so I'll send messages there. But other than that, yeah, sorry, Inu, no Halo this week, because I'm going to be out of town. But with that in mind, I hope you all have a wonderful night. I've been Zaruk Windcaller, and remember that the memories we make in life, good and bad, make us who we are. Don't change them for anything. Love you guys. See you all next week. Bye-bye.